okay, I'm gonna be betrothed to you. I'm gonna get to know you. I'm gonna take my time. Once that process, then I could move on.
And that was something I always had a question about too, because when I read about the great prophet, help me somebody, King Solomon.
Solomon, right?
You know, I don't think he had time to really just get to enjoy it. No, because if you think about, okay, well, 6 months for this rib or a year for this rib, you know, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Of course, he had the financial means to provide for them, of course. But you understand what I'm saying? To me, somewhere in there, it was just some.
No, they gotta be the switch. She'll get it. Yeah.
Somewhere in there, it was some mingling. Without I wasn't getting to know everybody on that person. Virtually, it was like, okay, I see her kind of like David and Bathsheba. Okay, I see her. I want her. I'm gonna get her. You know what I'm saying? It don't say nowhere in there where like, hey, I'm gonna wait for this.
Well, you know, what was Solomon? Solomon was a righteous dude, right? He was a righteous man.
Good.
And so, you know, the level of the quality of women and the level of man back then was a lot higher. You see what I'm saying? So if a man wanted to deal with a woman, I don't know how long their betrothal process was, but I don't think like he saw her and like 2 seconds later he was just on it. That not in every case.
Right.
Not in every instance.
That's a lot of ribs.
Right, but you got to remember also, Solomon had 40 years of peace. He had 40 years to do his thing. He had 40 years of peace. What else was he doing? Dealing with his women, increasing in wisdom, having the leisure to study ants and flowers and things like that. So he had 40 years. You see that? He had 40 years to get to know whatever he wanted to get to know. He knew about the ants. You think he didn't know about his ribs? Of course. And nowhere does it say he took this amount of time. He took this amount of time. Right. We just saying here at our school rule, to avoid confusion and avoid all the mistakes, we put a time on it because, again, you don't know a person's intentions. And we try to look out for everybody's well-being. Right. You don't know a person's intentions, man. They come in and their intention is to get a good man, but are you trying to be a good woman? And vice versa. Are you trying to change or are you just trying to accumulate a man? Right. Let me go to Hebrews real quick, and then I'm going to take your other one. Go to Hebrews 10:35. Because you were talking about, what did you say? You said you start thinking about the woman, the ex-ribs. Right. Because the first rib is gone. Right. And you know, the thing is, man, it's really about where is my mind supposed to be? Is it supposed to be on what my ex-ribs are doing? I don't have a rib. It's really supposed to be on what work do I need to accomplish? What work do I need to get done in achieving the will of the Most High? Because the Most High is always going to provide, right? He's always in, I think brothers get impatient when, if a rib leaves or if they don't have one, it's like, I got to have a rib, and then what happens is they get the wrong rib. Because instead of letting the Most High send that, we kind of go out and search for things and seek, and then our decision making is not always on point. So read that, Hebrews 10:35. 10:36.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 36. For ye have need of patience.
For you have what?
Need of patience.
Yeah, see, we lack the common thing with humans, the common thing with man is that we lack patience in everything. When we want something, we want it, right? I want a sandwich, I want a damn sandwich now. Right. That's why we got fast food spots. That's why we got microwaves. We have everything to our convenience, right? Everything is built for our convenience. If you a dude that has to have sex on the spot, they got some whores out there for you to go hit. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying it's convenient for every man. It's convenient for people to get whatever they want on the spot. If I want a burger, I can pull up at a window and 3 minutes later, I have a hot steaming burger with fries and a drink in my hand. I ain't got to wait for it to be cooked. I don't got to wait for none of that. It's there. But the Most High said we have need of patience. Because if you look at everything that we don't want to wait for, it's usually bad for us. The fast food is bad, right? Dealing with some hoes is bad, right? Cooking your food in the microwave is bad, right? And I'm just using those 3 examples of our hastiness for things. But even when we move rashly, it's bad because we end up a lot of the times making the wrong decision. So the Most High said, for you have need of patience. Read.
That after ye have done the will of the Most High.
See, we got to remember that it's all about the will of the Most High, not our own will. It's all about what the Most High is like, what have you done for me lately? Right? It ain't what you did last week, what you did a month ago. You can't live off your own coattails.
Okay.
You can't live off of the works you did a month ago or the works you did a week ago. What did you do for me today? After you do the will, and we got to remember that it's about continuing to do the will, being consistent, being instant in season and out of season. Where's our guy? In the restaurant? Oh, be instant in season and out of season. We got to be ready at all times. He said, after you do the will, go ahead.
Ye might.
You might what?
Ye might.
Say that word again.
Might.
We might. Go ahead.
Receive the promise.
Right, because it's really the Most High showing you that it's not about what you think you need or think you want. It's about doing what I want you to do, and you might receive the promise. But again, is the Most High unjust? Is the Most High unfaithful? Like the scriptures say, the Most High is not unfaithful to remember your labor and love. So he's going to remember, oh, you put in work for me? Damn, he needs a rib. You know what? Let me send him this woman that she may not have it all together, but guess what's going to happen? You can instruct her mind. Right? Because, watch this. And I was dealing with a brother on this today. Watch this. Go to Ecclesiasticus. Go to Ecclesiasticus. In your Apocrypha. 26 and verse 14.
Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 14.
See, the blessing is not just any woman.
Right.
Any woman can't be a pillar of rest. Any woman can't be a tower against death. They're not all built for that. And that's what we got to understand as men, that just because she's a woman, that doesn't mean that she's going to do her office and do her duty and do what she was created for. There's plenty of them out there, right? They doing them. Boo, I'm going to do me. And they'll tell you straight up, I ain't listening to no Bible. I ain't bowing to no man. Submissive. Nigga, are you tripping? What? No, he didn't. Weave swinging, neck popping, right? They'll tell you straight up, I am not messing with that. I'll let you hit it. I'll let you hit it, but I ain't going to be submissive to you.
Right.
I'm like, what? That's terrible. Yeah. But see, the blessing is this. Read.
A silent and loving woman
Read.
is a gift of the Most High.
Wait, it's something that we go out and seek.
It's a gift of the Most High.
I was roaming through the club and I seen every chick and I just got the numbers.
It's a gift of the Most High.
See, it's a gift from the Most High. Baby, it's a gift. I just like to give. But we got to remember that it's the Most High that's giving it to us. There's no need for me to go. There's no need for me to hit up the exes. I don't give a damn what they're doing, because you know why? They're not doing what I'm doing. They're just more of a deterrent and distraction to stay on the path.
And that's why I was referring to them, because they had this wrong, because in the past, I was the wrong one. I was the whoremonger. I was the street dude.
Okay.
So it was like, I mean, they was good chicks, you know what I'm saying? And they were kind of like that. They were silent, loving, do anything for me. They were the type that, oh, babe, I seen this in the store. I thought this might look good on you. And
right.
You know,
so you messed it up.
I come home and cook, yeah, done.
So then
they catch me, but I was always just, hey, baby, and then they come around, oh, well, I mean,
right. So then you gotta mend that.
Right.
So you're trying to. So are you saying that you just
trying
trying
to? I met up a lot of good women too. So I feel like sometimes, like they say, when you read what you sow, because I really had started to see that, like, coming to the truth. Like a lot of stuff had started happening to me, like when I really started living for the Most High. Just like I had got robbed a whole bunch of times. My neighbor was like, and my homeboy, they was like, bro, I would have been moved, but I was like, bro, I remember what I used to do back in the day when I was little.
Yeah.
They didn't understand that, like, but I knew what it was.
Right.
And it's the same thing. Like now, I had been noticing, like, I can't keep a relationship because why? All the stuff that I was once doing, now I'm getting like the back end of that. So I'm trying to like find out like what is the, you know what I'm saying, the proper protocol, like what you give it to me now. So,
right.
To prevent it for future. Because I was thinking after each one, like, okay, I'm getting better and better.
Right.
But I'm still getting the same
results.
Even though I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's
right.
what I can come up with.
But well, you know what it is? It's really just the patience part. Instead of, I mean, listen, am I saying there's something wrong with hitting up the ex and maybe mending a bridge or mending some things that were done wrong on your part, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? I was hitting you up. I was thinking about you. You know, I was thinking about the situation with us, and I messed up.
And the crazy thing,
that's a real man.
Right. Crazy thing is, they've been hitting me lately.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like surprised to hear from them like the other day. She just out of the blue, hey, you know. I'm like, dang. But how do you know when it's of the Most High or it can be?
See, I'm with you.
Way.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, finish reading this, and then we're gonna go to the next scripture. Read that. Start from the top.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Right. So this is how you're gonna know if they're of the Most High, if the Most High sent it. Hold where you at. Somebody else get
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7. Hold where you at. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Right. So what I'm going to do, they hit me up, they trying to get back on. I'm going to do what?
Prove him first.
Right. Why am I going to prove them? What am I trying to prove?
Make sure we're in the same mind.
That we're in the same mind, but I'm trying to prove, wait a minute, are you solid and loving? Is your mind able to be instructed by me? Can I instruct your mind? So what am I? I'm gonna put you to the test. And it's not about, you know, I had her do one or two things and she did it. It's really, it's that, but it's really digging into a person's mind and figuring out, okay, well, we broke up. What you back for? What you want? Really? What are you back for? And you know, if you're going through that proving process and they're living up to expectation, then you gotta let a person walk their path and you move forward if you want to move forward. You know, and understand that, okay, you know, a lot of things happen where you gotta understand there's so many different dynamics that come in now. Do they believe in what I believe? Okay, they believe. Do they have the same amount of knowledge that I have? No? Okay, so I got to take it slow with this person. I can't expect them to know everything. I can't expect them to know anything. So what I got to do? I got to reestablish, I got to teach them. I got to rip everything out their brain and instill. Watch, read it again. Jeremiah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14.
So it says, prove a friend. This is what you're trying to prove. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High.
Right, you're trying to prove, are you silent and loving? Read on.
And there is nothing so much worth a mind well instructed.
Right, because the Most High is not going to send you a woman that you can't instruct. The Most High ain't going to sit back like, damn, Jeremiah's down there just putting in work. Let me send him a demon. That'd be counterproductive. Right. But is he going to send you somebody that got issues? Yeah, because we all got issues. But the point is this: you're gonna get someone where it's not gonna be a struggle to get them right. It's not gonna be a struggle for them to walk with you. Can two walk together? At least they be in agreement. So you ain't gonna be dragging them in the sand while you doing all the walking, and you just dragging them along like dead weight, or you gotta hoist them over your shoulder all the time. They always just weak. Nah, the Most High is gonna send you somebody that's compatible. That's gonna do what? Help you further along. Because that's the point. The Most High don't want you to die. It says a woman is a pillar of rest. Right? A tower against death. So is he gonna say? Yeah, she's supposed to double your life. So you think he gonna send you death if you're doing the right thing? He said he's not unrighteous to forget your labor and love. So, and he also said the Most High knows what you need. The lilies, the grass, those get water, right? You think you ain't gonna get what you need? It's just, it goes back to Hebrews 10:36. We have to have patience. We have to, man, listen. Sometimes you might have to, brothers hate hearing it, but sometimes you might have to say, you know what? I'm gonna fast for a year. This is what I'm gonna do to show the Most High that nothing has a hold of me. sex, women. I'm gonna go on a year fast. I'm gonna clean out all the cobwebs, and I'm gonna let the Most High send me what I need. Sometimes when you make that vow, and the Most High see that you're sticking through it, and you stick through it, right at that end, are you gonna get tempted? Of course. You're gonna get weak a little bit, and then the ex is gonna be calling you. What's up, boo? You know, I was thinking da 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 da. Next thing you know, she at your place. And then it's like, okay, moment of truth. Do I break my vow? Do I break my vow for some easy cut? Or do I stick with my vow and get what the Most High was really sending me? You gotta do it. Listen, I have to do it.
That part easy for me though, like, cause I was used to doing that even when I was like, even like the hormone thing was like spurts, you know. Right. What I'm saying? But I've always been good with like holding myself. But like you were saying earlier, but it just be that time like when I want, I want.
Yeah.
When I don't,
you don't. But that's the thing. See, when you want, you want. But are you gonna fall to just anything to get what you want? No. And that's where the struggle and the temptation happens, because yeah, I can hold myself. I could go a year. That's as long as I went, a year. But if I needed to, I go longer. I'm sure I can. So, but does the temptation, do the chicks just come out of nowhere? Hell yeah, they come out of nowhere to do what? To get you to break that vow. Because Satan knows that if you break that vow, the Most High is not going to send you what you were intended to get, that true blessing. That's why it says, for you have need of patience, that after you do the will of the Most High. See, in that case, the will would be, well, I'm going to set up this vow. I'm going to take 6 months. I ain't going to deal with nothing. I ain't going to talk to nothing like that. You know, shalom, whatever. And do it like that. And once you set that up, it's just showing the Most High that nothing's going to have the power over me. I don't have to, as soon as I get a little bit of urge, I have to jump on the phone and try to conjure up some type of wife. Because that's what I don't got to conjure up a wife out of thin air. I'm going to let you send it. You see what I'm saying? Read that one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High.
Yeah, and this is what we got to remember, man. It's a gift of the Most High. So you silent and loving sisters in class, outside of class, you are a gift from the Most High to your man.
Then I had one more.
What's that?
And this one kind of like opposite, but it's kind of like dealing like with the women that be in the chief concourse, right?
Wait, say that one more time?
Like women that be in the chief concourse. I'm trying to say it in the nicest way without being too vulgar or profane on the camera.
Right.
So, like Judah and like Samson, right? When they had dealt with those instances and they gave a pledge, and he even showed like in the scripture when we deal with the woman of another nation, like if you was to lay with them, you give them a pledge. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm not marrying you, but look, yeah, you take this and you move around. What's your intake on that?
Wait, you saying, I want to make sure I hear your question right.
Well, we're dealing with a harlot or a woman who's been with another man already.
Right.
So, like we know, when our patriarch fathers, Judah.
Right.
You know, Samson.
Oh, you talking about like when Judah gave the woman the
and his rings.
Right.
Bracelets.
Right.
And with Samson also. So, but it wasn't looked at as it wasn't frowned upon when they did these things. So I'm inquiring, like, when is it a thing where it's, peaceful, or when is it just out the door, straight up wicked?
Well, I mean, you don't want to go out there and deal with no straight up hoes. Like a chick that's a streetwalker.
I'm just talking period. Like,
you don't want to mess with that.
Because if we go in a technical sense,
that
one we pretty much lay with.
If you want to be, but that's the thing. But if you want to be technical,
right?
I wouldn't call. If you want to be technical, if they have more than one man, right? But this is the difference. Are them hookers in here trying to get right?
No.
Right. So you don't want to deal with them.
Right.
Again, you want to deal with somebody whose mind you can instruct.
Right. I'm talking like a regular chick. That's why I said I didn't want to be too vulgar, because I didn't want to make it seem like I was going out to,
pick up whores,
entertain a known harlot.
Right. No, you don't want to deal with no known harlots.
Right.
But it's like this. People are gonna have baggage. Men, we have baggage, right? So if you meet a woman out there and she has baggage, how are you going to know she has baggage? We just read it in Ecclesiastes 6. You got to prove a friend, right? So you're going to prove her. You're going to deal with her in a way where you're getting to know her. The betrothal period, this is where that comes in. Now, if you're okay with her baggage, because baggage can come in many different forms. She might have children. Right. She, a lot of women don't like to disclose how many men they've slept with. Right. But any woman I'm going to deal with, she's going to let me know how many women she slept with. Then I'm probably going to times it by 2. Right? Ain't that the rule?
You said women?
By 3.
Any woman. No, any woman that I want to be with. Oh. No, yeah. Don't you? What was that rule? You times it by 2?
Times it by 2.
That's terrible.
I thought it was 3.
Damn. Yeah, that was.
Right. Oh, I'm
trying to make it sound sweet. Bro.
Right. No, I'm joking. But the point is this: no matter who you gonna deal with, right, you have to get to know them. Why? This is why the betrothal period is so important. Because, especially in these days, because you want to get background on a person. What you do, what you've been up to, what do you deal with, who do you deal with, who have you dealt with. So that way, now if I'm going to be attached to you, guess what I'm attached to? I'm attached to all your baggage. I'm attached to everything you've dealt with. The past might come back to haunt, and guess what? I don't want to be in the crosshairs. If you was running the streets, hoeing and robbing and stealing and drug dealing, and you just finished doing that like 2 months ago, best believe somebody out there looking for you. Right. So now the decision is: do I want to be with that? Do I want to entangle myself with that and deal with the repercussions? But everybody has baggage. What's up? We got cut off again?
No.
Oh, okay. We good? Okay. Yeah. Everybody's gonna have baggage out in the world. It's hard to find a person that doesn't come with some type of, whether it be emotional baggage, physical baggage, but that's why taking time and being patient, that's why that's so important, because now you get to discern, what can I handle? What do I want to deal with? You see what I'm saying? You get to be the chess master and pick your battle.
I used to have this problem like when I was growing up, because like I was that gentleman fellow, that shy free guy, that take it slow guy. Right. That also got misconstrued a lot with, damn, are you gay? Why you don't touch me? You don't never fit on me. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So
well, now you can say, well, listen, this is why. Because I'm being respectful. I have customs that I uphold, and and then you gotta show them, like, think about it. And I would ask them. Any chick that ever would say that to me, I'd be like, well, okay, so you just used to getting ran through, or what's going on? Right. That right there is telling you something about, nah, it's real though. It's real. When a chick is like, how come you ain't feeling on me and touching me? It's like, okay, first of all, what type of men have you dealt with, and what have you been up to? And then that gives you occasion to go into a person's background. And then again, now you got to see, like, okay, this person's used to moving real fast. Right. And then that's your justification to bring it all out. Listen, well, I do things like this because the scriptures say this. Prove a friend. Decently and in order. Get to know. This is what you're supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be. I'm not trying to just hit it and quit it. It's about longevity. You get to bring out all these instances. And guess what? In that, they're going to be like, I ain't messing with him. Or, damn, I never met no guy like you. Right. And they're going to stick around. But that's the whole thing is, you'll know. And you'll know, did the Most High send this? Did the Most High send this or not? You'll know. Right. Just in your talk.
Right. I remember one time, it was funny that you said that, because before I actually started keeping the Sabbath, when I was still going to church on Sundays, my first lady asked me, she was like, Brother Karras, and she was like, all those pretty ladies used to bring to church. And I asked her, I was like, can I be real with you, First Lady? I say, when I was out there in the streets, I say, as long as I was calling y'all B's and, what I'm saying, O's.
Yeah, you call bitches and hoes, they want to be with you.
Yeah, I had y'all around the block.
As long as you're beating on them, giving them weed and liquor, they want to be with you.
Right, and I say, as soon as I started living righteously and trying to do the right thing, I said, they gave up. I said, but y'all, the most thing you always see, especially on like dating profiles or you meet a chick, oh, I want to go out here and man, but when they see you really about that, They don't really want no parts, so it's like,
Right.
damn.
But then that's right there is your justification to say, I ain't dealing with you. Most High didn't send you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Shit, they just feel themselves. I ain't have to.
Yeah, you ain't got to do nothing. The Most High, he'll move her right out.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, but the main point is, if we're doing the will of the Most High, if we commit our mind, the Most High he'll send us what we need. You see, yeah. So you got that?
Good.
All right. I'm trying to give this brother some time to hit his class. Let me see what they're saying on YouTube real quick. It says, what happened to the Breakfast Club video on the Black Panther? It was deleted. Yeah, we're editing that video, brother. We're editing the video. It was put up before it was done by accident. When we finish editing the video, then we'll get it back up there. I seen that too, and when I went, it was gone. We edit it and then we upload. But it might have been uploaded prematurely. Shalom. When I'm reading my Bible at home, I frequently change the names. I can't pronounce. Is that okay? When I say I change the name, I mean it's like as my reading. I replace it with a name I know in my notes. I write down the name I can pronounce to the one I use so I'm able to reference back. Well, you definitely want to be able to pronounce the names. And it's not hard. What you do, get you go get an audio Bible. And it'll pronounce it for you. You can use any audio Bible and go to the names you can't pronounce. It'll pronounce it for you. I know, like in my Bible, it breaks it down by syllables.
Yeah.
It breaks it down by syllables. The names, so like Joab, Joab, Joe, comma or hyphen Ab. Zeruiah. Zeruah. It breaks it down. So you don't want to replace the names because then you'll get the stories mixed up. But yeah, get you an audio Bible and just play it, and it'll pronounce the names for you. Or just ask. Because yeah, you start replacing those names, you'll start getting stories and things mixed up. I mean, that's it online. Any other questions here? I mean, if not, we'll start class, and then obviously we'll take questions on the class. And if there's anything online, we'll jump into those. But you ready? Oh, you matching me today?
I know, right?
Damn. All right.
So
Him in the spirit.
Same
All right,
watch.
we're gonna start this class. What we gonna title this class? I'll get a title. When we're dealing with pride and humility, right? I'll get a title. Let me think about it real quick.
How to remain humble.
Yeah, because this title game is not hot.
I think it is, but it's not. All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 18, verse 1. We're going to read through verse 4. Because the reason being, this is the whole point. This right here is the whole goal of us being in the truth, right? This is the whole goal. This is what we want. This is what we work for. So let a brother get that for me. Matthew chapter 18, verse 1. Go ahead.
And before you go, what we're dealing with the benefits of humility and the repercussions of pride. You could name it that. The benefits of humility and the repercussions of pride. And this is important because
you said the benefits of humility.
the benefits of humility and the repercussions of pride. And the reason why it's important is because a lot of us don't see where our growth comes from. A lot of us don't see where when we get stagnant, we don't see where that comes from. We think that it's just how things should be, where I'm growing one day, then the next day it's like, I don't know. But nah, what is it that makes you grow? Your humility, your willingness to listen, right? It's like we just pulled the scripture in Ecclesiasticus, a mind well instructed, right? A mind well instructed is going to grow. A silent and loving woman is going to grow. But a person that's hard-headed, always talking, or trying to talk over you, they always got the answer, prideful, right? No humility. Guess what? They're going to remain stagnant. because they're not letting the wisdom, the information that is going to help them to grow, they're not letting that pierce their medulla oblongata. What's up?
Even if I'm quick to lash out and like while we're talking.
Say that one more time.
Even if I'm quick to lash out while we're talking.
Yeah, if you're quick to lash out, the scriptures say, get it. It says, you can't. Yeah, think about it. Why would you be quick to lash out when someone else is talking? Yeah.
Or even if there's a dramatic pause.
What do you mean?
Like you're talking and then you pause sometimes because you want to think about your next statement.
Right.
But then I just interrupt and just lash out emotionally.
Well, if you talk about your dramatic pause is like extra dramatic. You need to tighten that up a little bit.
Well, even still. Because I know within myself,
1 Corinthians 14:4.
I don't respond the way I normally would.
That's what I want. No, the one I want is in the Apocrypha. Yeah. You were saying, what were you saying, Aria?
I forgot.
I'm sorry. You saying your dramatic pause, then the person interrupts in your dramatic pause.
Well, let's say I'm talking to my rib, right?
Right.
And she's asking me a question.
Uh-huh.
So
bring it out.
I understand not to interrupt the person in the midst of their speech.
Right. Because why?
Because you got to hear the whole matter and then.
Because why?
Because that's what the scripture says.
Because why?
Everything has to be done decently and in order.
You're missing the point. Because that's where the growth comes in. That's the signs of humility.
Right.
That's where you're gonna grow. Because if I'm telling you something for your benefit, how you gonna get it if you cut me off?
You can't.
You can't. So how you gonna grow?
You can't.
You're not. If you're diverting the wisdom, if you're diverting the water that you need to grow, if you're diverting the sunlight from the plant, how you gonna grow? You're not. So it's important. You got it?
Go on.
It's important that, yes, you can't lash out emotionally when someone is trying to give you information. That's a sign of pride. There's no benefit in that. Read where you at, or have one of them get it.
You got Ecclesiastes chapter 11. You can start at verse 7, but it's 7 and 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse, you said 7?
And 8.
And verse 8. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Because what is it telling us here?
Patience.
That, but what else? Pertaining to what Ariana's asking. You got to shut the hell up and listen. And then it says, do what? Read it one more time.
It says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
You have to do what?
Blame not.
No. You have to examine the truth. How can you examine anything if you're talking? You can't. How can you examine the matter if you're talking over and your brain is processing what you got to say and not processing what's going on in the matter? Go ahead, read on.
Done. Understand first.
Do what?
Understand first.
Wait, talk first.
No, understand first.
Go ahead.
And then rebuke.
Read.
Answer not before thou hast heard the call.
Wait. So you're supposed to already have the answer formulated in your brain because you think you know what your husband's about to say?
Answer not before thou hast heard the call.
Wait, so because you know a brother, you think that you know what he's about to say, so you already have the answers just formulated in your head.
Answer not before thou hast heard.
A brother starts talking, I know what you're about to say.
I know where you're going with this.
I know where you're going with this.
Answer not before thou hast heard the call.
Read.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
Why? Because proper edification won't be given. If you keep interrupting, how are you going to get the point? It shows that your mind is still trying to justify or avenge whatever it is that I'm trying to bring to you. If I'm coming to you with a serious matter and your brain is working 50 miles an hour trying to justify whatever you did or whatever you said, what does that mean? You're not hearing the matter. So you're not giving yourself a chance to even understand where I'm coming from. So now what are you doing? You're missing the point. You're missing the message. You're no longer growing.
That's why I always use, to go with that, I use Proverbs 18 and 13. Mm-hmm. Because that person who answers before the matter and before they hear the right instructions, they look like a dumbass. Because the word is folly.
We'll go there.
Come, Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 13.
Read.
He that answereth a matter before he heareth it.
He's prideful, first of all.
Come.
That's one.
Come.
Go ahead.
Before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him.
Why? Why does it say that, Aria? Proverbs 18 and what?
18 and verse 13.
Why does that say that? Because you pulled it. That's your scripture, right? Why would you pull that in that instance? It's on point. I just want to know.
Well, one, because you're bringing shame upon yourself, and you're showing that you are being prideful. You're making yourself look more like an ass.
Right, because one of the and we're gonna go there, but one of the repercussions of pride, it tells you that pride bringeth shame. You be shamed, like damn. Now you feeling shameful and feeling sorry for lashing out because you spoke too quickly. So guess what? I was gonna tell you something totally different than what you thought. Now you assumed. What do they say? Don't assume, because you'll make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like an ass when you assume things. You look like the ass, right? It's folly because you're not giving yourself a chance to understand what's going on before you just make a judgment. And what it does is, you know what it really does? It shows a person's true thoughts, true intentions. I love it. I love when people just think about something, like they don't examine the matter, they judge. Like, oh, that's how you really think. No, it's real though. Now you get to see how a person really thinks. You're like, oh, that's what's on your mind. Your mind.
And me personally, I can understand. I'm guilty of that. But sometimes, like, sometimes people take like your kindness for granted. Sometimes, so like you notice, like over time, like people that take advantage of you or they'll do those things to you. So it kind of puts you in like a defensive mind state. Sometimes you feel like people are lashing out at you, like with intentions, like I did with the big brother on the Shabbat.
Right.
I didn't mean no harm by it, but it was like one of those instances because I get that a lot. Sometimes not even with just brothers here, like even out here, I can come in and say something, and everybody like they don't hit me, and then they'll wait like 5 minutes later, then come try to answer. I'm like, bro, I actually like, you know what I'm saying, like 10 minutes ago,
right?
Say something like this. So what do you do in situations
like
that?
Well, with that, you always gotta remember, the scriptures say, know those that labor amongst you. So you always gotta look at the intention. You always gotta look at who am I around, and what are their intentions. You gotta look at Kazakia. I was here for that Sabbath, but you gotta look and say, well, what is Kazakia's intention? Is Kazakia's intentions, or any brother's intentions up here, to lead me astray? Nah, because then you gotta rewind and you gotta go back in your mental Rolodex and say, well, the whole time I've been here, brothers have done nothing but at least try to give me wisdom to help my life. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you gotta judge it. Now, somebody out in the world is different, and it could be different or it might not. But you gotta always look at it. You gotta look at it individually. Okay, well, I know the brother's intentions ain't to harm me. They always trying to look out. It might not come super gentle, but it might come hard at sometimes, because it does. We come gentle, we come hard. It gotta be a balance, right? But now I gotta look at, okay, now I'm dealing with somebody in the world. What are their intentions? How have they dealt with me in past instances? Is it always on some shady? Is it always on some, side-eye type moves? You gotta look at that, because that right there, once you say, you know what, I know brothers ain't trying to do no harm. Brothers deal with a lot throughout the day. The days be long, right? We have some long ass short days. They be long, short. Right? You up at 6 in the morning, man. You go to bed at 2 in the morning. You're like, damn, that was a long ass day. But then you look, the week flies by like that. But then you got to take into account, and I'm not saying that this is like any justification, but you got to take all things into account. What's going on with this brother today? What's going on with this sister today? Or how come he probably didn't hear me? I probably didn't speak loud enough. Or brother probably just going through some things. But it's really about the intention. You see what I'm saying? What's the intentions of brothers? You had your hand up.
But kind of just like even like class, I keep watching that betrayal over and over because them in the world,
Uh-huh.
I can deal with them a lot easier because it don't bother me. Because when I come here, I'm looking for love and the camaraderie from my brothers.
Right.
Out there, I can give a 2 cents what they think about me, what they may say, and I can easily just dismiss it.
Right.
Versus one who's close to me.
Right.
You know, just like the scripture say, it's gonna always be that brother or that. You know, we don't really know how to deal with each other until we come into the truth and actually deal with each other.
Right.
So I can't just just because they're my brother, I can't just put them on a pedestal and be like, well, shit, you know, everything is a good intent because we all still working through things.
Well, everything is out of good intention, but this is the one thing you always have to remember. Go to Luke 17:1. It's all out of good intention because why? You said it. We got the word, right? So it has to be good intention. We got the word, but this is the one thing we got to remember that comes with the word. We have to remember this. And I think that brothers forget that, you know, it's like you had a sister one time, she came in and she thought like that the other sisters were just going to be floating in thin air with all white on with golden halos. She forgot that sisters were human, that they make mistakes, that they're not perfect. We're not perfect. You see that? And so this is what we got to understand. Read that. Who got it? Luke 17
Luke
verse
chapter
1.
17 and verse 1. Then said he unto the disciples.
He said it to who?
The disciples.
Go ahead.
It is impossible.
See, this is going to be impossible to avoid. Go ahead.
But that offenses must come.
In what?
But that offenses will come.
That offenses will come. See, we got to understand that, yes, we're always around one another. It's like that brother and sister that just, and this might be a bad analogy, but you know that brother and sister that always fight each other? They love each other, but they go to war, but guess what? When it's time to go to war with somebody else, they'll have each other's back. So, and that's kind of a bad analogy because we're not going to war with.
That's actually good.
But we're not going to war with any brother or sister. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Like I wake up, I'm about to go to war with this brother. Nah, we ain't doing that. But what I'm trying to show that even though there's disagreements, they might be fighting. Guess what? At the end of the day, they both know I love you, you love me, and if somebody else steps in and tries to get with you, I'm gonna get with them, right? Because what are my intentions? My intentions as a little brother and a bigger sister, the big sisters, they're just antagonize. Oh, well, little bro, like Noah, he's there to antagonize Naomi, break all her toys, mess with her phone when she's at school, rip up her homework, dirty up her room, right? He's the one that when she gets home and looks at her room, she's like, what the hell? But guess what? That dude he'll go to the mall, eat some pizza, and be like, he'll save the crust for Naomi. Like, Naomi don't want that. He'll save the crust for Naomi. You know, just showing like the offenses, they gonna come. Things are gonna happen. But again, are we intentionally saying, let's offend this brother today? Let's offend this sister today? Nah. It's not like that. It's where things are said, ideas are put out there, and it's like, well, that idea is not going to work. We're going to go with this idea. But then what happens is this, and it goes right back into it. It's what level of pride, where does a man say, you know what, okay, before it has to get to a level of the back and forth, yelling, screaming, before it gets to that, where do I put in my mind that I might be wrong? And even if I am right, Scripture says suffer wrongfully, right? So, it goes back into these things where that pride starts to kick up and egos, and then it's like, well, now we're yelling. We never have to get to that point. We should never have to get to that point because we all brothers. We all here to learn. You see what I'm saying? But you had your hand up again. There was something you were going to say.
Yeah.
You forgot. But yeah, it goes back to this. And there's so many scriptures I can pull on both sides. But it says rebuke not an elder, right? So it's like, well, am I not rebuking the elder? I got to go back and check that. And a lot of things happen, again, because just of sheer rashness and not being patient to say, you know what, let me, I'm going to ask my questions. Let me just hear the whole thing. Let me just hear everything out. And then Say, okay, well, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Me and Kazak, we talk. I'm like, I don't get that, or I'm not with that. And then we'll come back and say, okay, we'll talk, and it's like, okay, let's do it like that. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a disagreement, but there's a way to disagree. There's a way to disagree with an elder. There's a way for me to disagree with this brother. There's a way for me to disagree with a brother under me. You know, there's ways that we can do it. You see what I'm saying? But we have to remember Luke 17:1. Read it one more time.
Luke chapter 17 and verse 1.
Then
said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come.
Right, because again, we're always with each other. We're the ones that's putting in the work. We're the ones that have to make decisions according to the work. We have to. So, you know, it's really about this. And I'm going to be very blunt. It's really about this. If my mind is focused on getting a job done, and I say, listen, we're going to get this job done, where does the disagreement come?
To the one who don't want to work.
But right, because what's going to happen? What's he doing? He's saying, or where does the offense come? I should use that word, because that's what the scripture, the offense comes like this. We're going to do this by any means necessary. And the other person is like, well, I got this going on, I got this going on, I got this going on, or I don't want to do it this way, or I don't like the way you said that, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And it's like, well, so what? We're going to do it this way. Now the other person can say, you know what? Am I going to make excuses? Am I going to look at the way I was corrected? Am I going to look at the scripture say to the meek and to the forward? Am I going to look at these things, or am I going to look at, let's just get the job done? You see what I'm saying? Where the offenses come, they can come, but they might not be a justified offense. It might just be the way a man is thinking at the time, where he feels offended, but it's like, did you really get offended because I said, no, we're going to go do this job, and this is how we're going to do it, ain't nothing going to stop us? No matter what you think, ain't nothing going to stop us? Not saying, not saying you, but yeah. You see what I'm saying? That a man's thinking could say, well, damn, I'm offended now. But what does that go to? That goes right back into how much pride am I investing into the situation at hand and my situation? How much pride do I have on me to say, well, you know what? I don't want to do it this way. Have you ever done it before? No? Okay, well, the person that's saying we're going to do it this way, have they done it before? Yeah? So now I got to check my pride. Because then what's pride going to bring? Pride brings it brings those thoughts of brothers ain't considering me, or they're looking at me a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Where it's not like that at all. It's just the focus is like, right? And anything that's not trying to add to it is like, okay, well, you move at your pace. We got to keep moving. You move at your pace. We'll bring you along. And that's for anybody. We'll bring you along, but you got to keep, we're going to keep going forward. We can't let nothing deter the train. The train got to keep going. It cannot stop. Because when the train stops, it's over. They're going to jump on the train. They're going to rob the train. They're going to pillage the train. They're going to steal from the train. But the train got to keep going. And whoever wants it, but it's going at a pace where you can hop on. But then if you're like, well, nah, I don't know if I can hop on. I don't want to hop on today. I don't want to. It's like, well, okay. Does that make sense? You want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes I just feel like this is because I don't do the same type of job other than the EO than the other brothers. So sometimes I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like a little exclusion, because I be trying to, that's why I try to be around as much as I can.
Right.
Or to do what I can to try to help, to keep, you know what I'm saying, things going and being a part of it. But sometimes when certain things are said, it makes it feel like you're not part of the work that's being done because you're not part of the work that they're actually doing, other than when we're out street teaching or in class.
Right. Well, you got to remember, man, that the mall, the business, that's just part of it. That's just part of the puzzle. And I mean, I don't want you to feel like that because you're not working at the mall that you're not included, because you're included. You're here. You know, and I mean, we sit back and say, damn, you know, okay, this brother, he's doing this, he's doing this. We consider all. But it all comes back to us saying, you know what? And we do it. We consider every brother's moves as far as where they're at in the body. We consider it all, and we understand, like, okay, this is where this brother is at right now. Will he ever get to a point where he's in the mall? Maybe, maybe not. Because you're not in the mall, does that mean that you're less than any brother? No. Hell no. That don't mean you're less than anybody. It don't mean that. And I mean, you know, I hope that you don't, I mean, you know, I hope you don't feel like that.
No, that's why I like what they were saying today in EO training about integrity.
Right.
That's what I try to walk with every day, like whether I'm with you guys or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like before I came here, it was still the same thing. You know, I carry myself accordingly because I know even though ain't nobody else looking, the Most High be looking. Like, I weigh things out on how, am I, whatever I'm finna do or saying to someone, is it right or pleasing in the sight of the Most High? So,
right, you're considerate, which that's how we gotta roll.
Right.
Right.
So when they be like, well, you're not here to do the work, I'm like, okay, but I do be doing the work. I might not be doing it like, you know, with them or how they're doing it, but if you go to the street to yourself, I'm gonna make sure I make that or do, you know what I'm saying, do that.
Right.
You know, I share the word every day, you know what I'm saying, with somebody. Like, I use the chair to minister to people.
Right. And this is what you gotta understand is that, again, you know, the one thing about us for, you know, the last couple of years, we've really been considerate on the pace of brothers because it's easy. That, again, offenses come where it's like, well, you ain't doing what we're doing, and then a brother feels like, oh no, I ain't doing what they're doing, I don't want to be around. Where we understand that everybody's not going to be in the mall, everybody's not going to be there, you know, and especially not as soon as you get here. We don't expect you to walk in the doors and then like a month later, or even 6 months. Some, you know, not everybody has to go in there, you know. So we're very considerate about that, and you know, I don't want you, again, don't feel like because right now you're not there in the mall working with us or whatever the case may be that you're not a part of what we're doing. You know, you're in class, you show up for street speaking, you're doing what you can do. We understand. You got what you got to do. On, you know, outside of class, you got things that you got to do. You got to pay rent. You got, you know. So we understand that. We're not knocking that, right? All right. Let's jump back though. Where we at? Actually, where we at?
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 4.
Right. So before he goes there, I was just saying, you know, with the pride, with the humility, there are things that the pride can hinder you, hinder growth. The humility is what propels us. And this is what we have to understand. But I'll let you get it. Go ahead.
Hold on, I was going to say too, if you look at the opposite of humility, it's pride. And, you know, it's like black and white. So you got pride on one side and you got humility on the other side. But for you to get your blessings through the Most High, it comes through the humbleness. It comes through the humility. And when you get your curses, it comes through pride. So that's what we're going to go into. Give me Matthew chapter 18, verse 1, actually. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Go ahead.
And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them.
So a child, according to Yahushua, a child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. But why? Why would a child be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Because they're always ready to learn and they're easy to be taught.
Bam. I want them.
They have a pure outlook, a pure mind state, so they're not defiled yet.
Bam. Anybody else? So a pure outlook and a pure mindset. So that's why Yahushua called the child in the midst of them. Verse 3, go ahead.
And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children.
So unless you become converted with a pure mindset and become a person where even though you might already be grown, you can still learn, you can still be moldable, you can still be taught. That's the only way. Read.
Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So if you can't, if you don't have that attribute within yourself, you're not going to enter. Just think about it. Do you want to deal with somebody that you can't tell them anything? You can't show them anything? They don't have a pure outlook on anything? You'll tell them your goals, your visions, your aspirations. And they're like, nah, that's not going to work. They're always negative. They look at the cup half empty. Ain't nothing pure about them. They're filthy. The way they carry themselves. Everything about them is just negative. It's just unclean. It's just unpure. You don't want to deal with that. So guess what? In the kingdom, the Most High doesn't want to deal with that either. God. You don't want to deal with somebody where you can't tell them, you can't show them a new way. You can't show them where they're off. They always think they're right. If you don't want to deal, just think about it within yourself. If you don't want to deal with that, why would the Most High want to deal with that? Read.
Verse 4. Well, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
So is it? We gotta watch these little kids and see how they maneuver. Because it says theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Like when he said, suffer not the little children to come to me, because theirs is the children of heaven. What was he talking about? He was talking about, yeah, they're humble. They already got that righteous spirit within them. They haven't been tainted yet. And a lot of us, we've been tainted. We're grown now. We're adults, so we've been tainted with all kinds of garbage.
Not a lot of us, all of us.
All of us, yeah.
We're all filthy.
So we all have to damn near go back to that childlike mentality in certain ways. Not all the way, but in certain attributes. What's up, Abiyar?
I got a definition for convert.
Go ahead.
Convert. To change or to turn into another substance or form. To change from one state to another.
So that's what we got to do with our mentalities, our minds. Because obviously we can't become a child again. So our mentality has to be converted. Our mentality has to be changed and brought back into that child mentality. And when I say child mentality, I mean you're easily moldable. The Most High can work with you. You don't think highly of yourself. You don't think you already got it. And even if you do got it, you could still be shown another way. You could still be shown a more efficient way. It's like now that we're older, you'll see like our grandparents. I'm not gonna say grandparents, but a person that's more of age. They'll go to a little child and be like, hey, show me how to work this. How to work this phone, how to work this tablet, how to work this computer. But the reason they do it is because the child knows. But we're older than them, so you would think that we would know. But it's a lot of times, man, we don't think in certain areas, man, where we could actually change certain things. And just because somebody might be young, you look at it like in a negative way, like you can't tell me nothing, you're young. But a lot of times we look at it too, like you don't got no money, you can't tell me nothing. You can't. How you gonna tell me how to do this? You don't have no money. That's actually like the saying in the world right now. If you don't have no money, you can't tell me nothing. If you're not at this standard, you can't talk to me. You can't show me nothing. But that's prideful. That's super prideful. And the Most High definitely doesn't want to deal with that. You can't be shown anything.
Unless it has to do with something carnal. Mm-hmm. See, we got to be careful of that. We got to be careful of that even in here, where we look at certain things the wrong way. We look at certain things that the Most High gives us, and we figure that we're going to move off of that. I'm going to move off my car. I'm going to move off my new house, my new this, my new shoes, my new purse. I'm going to move off of these things, but I'm not going to move off spiritual things. I'm not going to move off the spiritual cues that the Most High has been sending me. The Most High speaks once, yea, twice, but man perceive it not. Why? Because the Most High is speaking to you in spirit. He's giving you these spiritual cues where it's like, I'm not willing to pick up on that. I don't want to see it. Right? But if it's carnal, I'll do it. If it got something to do with a job, a house, a car, something to appease me fleshly, I'll do it.
God.
But
That's
see,
true.
that's why we got to come back like little children, because it's really about letting yourself be remolded. That's the thing. What is the whole goal of a parent with a child? To do what? To mold them into what?
To godly children, like train them up the way they're supposed to go.
Right. To a decent human being, right? To a, our job as Hebrews, as Israelites, is to raise our children in the way of the Most High. That's why we got to come back as children, so we could be remolded into what we originally were supposed to be, and not just what the hell they got out on the Snapchat or Cardi B video. We ain't supposed to be Cardi B's up in here. You're not supposed to aspire to be Nicki Minaj's, Amber Rose's,
That's a big problem.
right? You're not supposed to be aspiring to be the next greatest house mom. No, you're supposed to be aspiring to be a good wife, a good husband, for children, good adults when they grow, but through the Most High. Your aspirations, and that's what it's showing, that your aspirations are supposed to change. What are you aspiring to be? If I'm telling you no, you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be the company woman. You're supposed to be the Hebrew Israelite wife, and this is how you do it. And you're like, no, yeah, I hear you. Nah. I'm gonna do me, my job, this, that. That pride is gonna catapult you. It's gonna catapult you to a point where you're gonna get so high, the fall's gonna be bad. The fall's gonna be great. Oh, and the beautiful thing is, man, when the Most High orchestrates that fall, you'll know it's the Most High. Look at Pharaoh. I know I'm jumping a little bit, but look at Pharaoh. No man can orchestrate that fall. You think Moses did that? That was the Most High. Every time the Most High said, I'm going to harden his heart. I'm going to harden his heart. I'm going to harden his heart. Why? So he can puff himself up more and more and more. So when he fell flat on his face, when it was time to swallow him up in the Red Sea, you knew that it was the Most High. And this is what we got to be careful of, where the pride in us, it puffs us to a point where now the Most High got to bring you down. You don't want that. You don't want the Most High to bring you down. It's going to hurt.
It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High.
It's a fearful thing.
Right.
The Most High destroy your flesh and your spirit.
You don't think about that spirit.
A question on that one. When you read in the Ecclesiastes 2, down towards the bottom, it was like, I would not fall in the hands of man, but I would fall in the hands of the Most High.
Ecclesiastes in the apocrypha?
Yeah.
Would it be, when you saying fall into the hands of the Most High, you mean like He gonna give you over to the destruction to men, or to Him? Because in Ecclesiastes, it's like you want to fall into the hands of the Most High. Or am I saying that wrong?
Well, you want to fall into the hands of the Most High through wisdom, not through Him whooping your ass. That's why it says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, because it says He's a consuming fire. So how am I falling into the hands of the Most High? Am I falling into the Most High's hands through Ecclesiastes chapter 6? Ecclesiastes chapter 6 tells us what? To be in the fetters, right? The fetters be shackled down with wisdom. Right. Is that how I'm falling into the hands of the Most High? Or am I falling into the hands of the Most High, where I'm in His hand, He squeezes and crushes my ass? Dang. See, that's what we got to ask. Yeah, it's a two-way street. We're always in the hands of the Most High, but you on the left hand or the right hand? Right. You on that right hand full of wisdom? Or you on that left hand where when He squeezes, He got Satan right there with you. He just squeezes. So that's what we got to be careful of. And that's the balance of it. What you got?
One scripture on that. It's Psalms 37 and 24.
Oh, you got it, yeah. And that's the balance of it, though, where my humility allows me to fall in the hands of the Most High through wisdom. My pride allows me to fall in the hands of the Most High to get destroyed. You see that? So that is it's a fine line, but we got to be careful. Go ahead.
Psalms 37, verse 24. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
God. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down.
Yeah. Because when you're doing the work, and the Most High knows you're actually trying, you're gonna fall. It says a wise man falls 7 times.
A just man.
A just man, yeah. A just man is gonna fall 7 times. But see, the thing is, when you're working to be just, this is what's gonna happen. Read.
For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
So yeah, even though you fall, you're not just gonna. It's not that fall like the Pharaoh's fall, where the Most High just built him up and cast him headlong, and now Egypt ain't been the same since. It's not gonna be the fall of America, where America's gonna go down and America's gonna be a perpetual burning, where everybody else, the whole nation's gonna be able to see it. Your fall ain't gonna be like that. When you're with the Most High, you might fall and people won't even know. He'll pick you right back up. Mm-hmm. So I like how you had it, where you had the left hand and the right hand. Mm-hmm. If you fall by his right hand, he's gonna pick you right back up. That's why it says there's no condemnation in Christ. Because yeah, you're gonna fall, you're gonna mess up doing the work, but you don't condemn yourself. The Most High is gonna pick you right back up. He's gonna pick you right back up, and you're gonna keep moving.
That's why it says a just man falls 7 times, but a wicked man falls into mischief. Because that just man, when he does fall, and he's trying to do and commit himself to the Most High, yes, Most High is picking him up every time. But a wicked man, the Most High is just like, stay down. Because he wants to stay down. He wants to wallow in his mire. The pride in him is saying, nah, I'm not going to do it that way. I ain't going to do it this way. The pride in her is saying, nope. But see, a just man, when he falls, what does he do? He got to be humble to hear that, okay, you did this wrong, you made this mistake. Yeah. You can get back up, try it again, and do better. See, a humble mind is very important, because a prideful mind will say, well, I messed up. That's it for me. That's it for me. I'm done. You condemn yourself, because pride brings condemnation. But a humble mind says, damn, I did mess up. Okay. Now what? How do I fix it? Well, I'm going to go get counsel. I'm going to listen to instruction. I'm going to do it the way I should have did it the first time. Right? A broken spirit and a contrite heart. It's the same thing.
You actually just set it up. Can we go to Isaiah? Were you good?
Were you done with that?
Isaiah chapter 57, verse 15. So remember, unless you come back to the Most High like a child, you're not gonna make it into heaven, right? But see, it's a mentality that a child has that we lost. We living in this world and becoming stubborn over time. But this is the mentality right here. Read it. Isaiah 57, verse 15.
What did we say the title of the class was again? The benefits of humility,
and the repercussions of pride.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You put that up, Shrub? Okay, cool.
Isaiah chapter 57 and verse 15. For thus said the Lord, lofty one that inhabiteth eternity.
All right, read it slow. Read it real slow.
One more again.
Yeah, this particular one, you gotta read it real slow. Go ahead.
For thus said the Lord, excuse me. For thus said the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity.
So the Most High is the one that inhabits eternity. That's what we want. That's why we're in the truth. That's why we're doing what we do. We want eternal life. We want eternal life. Like we're not sacrificing for nothing. We want eternal life. Like this life is garbage. I want to spend eternity in the courts of the Most High, not having to worry about anything. Not having to worry about my mind being programmed. Not having to worry about the food I eat being completely garbage, the water I drink, having to go to work my whole life till I'm 60 or I'm 70 to get a retirement that is like garbage. Like this ain't the life. This ain't the life for us to live. But the Most High is the one that dwells in eternity, and that's what we're striving for. Imagine spending eternity on this earth in this condition.
Oh God, hell.
Where you where you're not happy about anything, and you gotta go to work your whole life. You're just aging. You're just aging, and you're aging. You're getting old, and you're gonna spend eternity being a Walmart greeter eventually, or in a nursing home. This life is garbage. I mean, this world is garbage. But we're fighting for the eternity to live with the Most High. Read.
Whose name is holy.
Go ahead.
I dwell in the high and holy place.
Read.
With him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit.
So if you want to know who's going to dwell with the Most High, read that part again.
Also that is of a contrite and humble spirit.
So the Most High is the one that dwells in the high and holy place. But what's going to be dwelling with him? Who's going to be dwelling with him? Those that have a contrite and humble spirit. Like a little child. You can be molded. You're humble. You don't think highly of yourself. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just dirt. I'm just ashes. My car don't make me. My clothes, my shoes, my looks, my house. Nothing makes me. Come on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know, go ahead.
And also, it's not going to break me when I'm being told that I'm wrong. It's not going to destroy my ego when I'm told I'm not doing the right thing.
Right.
It's not going to destroy me when someone comes and corrects me. See, and that's the problem where little things, man, deter people. And it's like you don't want to be told even the smallest thing. You don't want to be told even the smallest thing about yourself to get you right, to get things done, to get things better. And then what happens is you let pride overtake. What's up, Mario?
Oh, when you look up that word contrite, it's remorseful, and you're trying to commit atonements. You know what I mean? So you're always being, like the scripture says, you're quick to listen instead of being quick to give an answer of a fool.
Right.
You're trying to find out and rectify the situation. Well, damn, okay, you did this wrong. Well, you know what? Well, show me where I messed up at so I can fix this.
So I don't keep having to
repeat the
same mistakes.
Correct. And that's that's the definition. That's one of the definitions of being contrite.
Right.
Because Psalm 51:17, it says, for the sacrifices of God is a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. Right? He wants a remorseful spirit. He wants a spirit. The Most High wants that individual that is willing to change, willing to accept that he was wrong and fix it. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, yeah, I screwed up, whatever, you know what I mean? Or I guess I'm no good, I'm dirty, I'm filthy. But the contrite mind is the ability to admit your faults and still willing to change it.
Mm-hmm.
The humility.
That's a humble mind though. And that's where growth comes. But anything else is gonna make you stagnant. And you'll be a castaway. Because you don't want to see, the scriptures say examine yourself whether you be in the faith. You're not willing to examine what it's going to take to make you better. Especially if somebody's already pointed out, all you have to do is just follow through with it. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
With him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit.
So that's what's going to be dwelling with the Most High. If you got a contrite, think about it. Isn't that what you want to dwell with you? Those are the type of people you want around you. You don't want somebody that's just high-minded and everything. You can't tell them nothing. Man, I remember there was this basketball player. His name was Smush Parker. He played with Kobe Bryant. His rookie year, he went up to Kobe and he was like, he just asked Kobe something. Kobe was like, "You can't talk to me." But he's like, "Bruh." Like, damn, like, who the hell are you, bro? You dirt. Yeah. How you gonna tell this dude he can't talk to you? Y'all both put a round ball in a round hoop. Mm-hmm. You just happen to do it a little bit better than him. And just because of that, you literally told this dude, you can't talk to me until you actually make a name for yourself or some garbage. You can't talk to me. You're not allowed, you can't say nothing to me. That's crazy. That's like to the extreme though. that's to the extreme. But a lot of us, man, we have it in us and we don't realize it. We have it in us, but we don't examine ourselves to see, like, damn, we don't want like a little grain of that in us. Where it's like, damn, yeah, I'm above you. Or I know more than you. Or I've done this longer than you.
Or I just don't care. Or I just don't care to be corrected or told anything. Gotta be careful.
High mind, that's crazy. Marie?
To revive the spirit of the humble.
So that's what the Most High dwells up there, and he's the one that revives the spirit of the humble. Before, when you was dead in the world, that little bit of humility you got, that might have brought you a long way where the Most High brought you the truth. But see, we're the ones that also got that broken and contrite spirit, and we're out here doing the same, trying to revive anybody's spirit that's humble enough to listen. Good. And try to bring them back to the light. Read.
And to revive the heart of the contrite ones.
Yeah, and we try to heal those that got the mind that got the humble mind that at least know, okay, I'm messing up. Let me see where I'm messing up at. Let me be remorseful, and let me at least try. Let me try to do what you're saying. Let me try it your way, because my way ain't working. My way is not working. There's a scripture in Job, man. I was going to pull it earlier. You mind if I get it real quick?
Go ahead.
It's a scripture in Job. Read Job chapter 20, verse 2. Read Job chapter 20, verse 2. And this mindset, this is a mindset that a lot of us have. A lot of us. All of us have it. I'll put it like this. All of us have this mindset, and we got to kill it. Because the Most High ain't dealing with it, and nobody wants to be around it. Go ahead, read that. Job chapter 20, verse 2.
Job chapter 20 and verse 2. Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer.
See, a lot of times our thoughts, we're thinking. It makes us answer. It makes us say things that we don't even mean. You get into a situation, or you get into an argument, or it's some form of contention, and your thoughts, instead of hearing it out like what we're talking about, instead of listening and being humble, our thoughts is just going crazy. That's why it says wisdom won't enter a malicious soul. Because your thoughts are now, it's malicious, and it's just spinning. But your thoughts, they're overtaken. And what you're dealing with the person, it's not getting in. Read.
And for this I make haste.
And now you make haste. Now you say things under your breath that when it's all said and done, you look back like, damn, why'd I do that? I just caused more harm.
Job 2 and what?
It's Job 20 and 2. 2 and 3. But now you make haste. You say things under your breath that you didn't mean. Or you just say something. You know how a lot of people have arguments and they just say something really hurtful and they're like, I didn't mean that. Like right afterwards. It's because you weren't listening and your thoughts is just running crazy. It's going all over the place. And you let it take over.
But it's already too late because you said it. Not a person is dwelling upon what you said.
And you made the matter worse. You made the situation worse. Read.
Verse 3. I have heard the check of my reproach.
But did you really hear the check of your reproach? A lot of us been, because our thoughts is going crazy. Our thoughts is just taking over, and we're not controlling ourselves to really be like, man, let me listen. Because who's the check coming from?
Most High.
The check is always coming from the Most High. It's always coming from the Most High. Read.
And the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer.
And the spirit that's in your thoughts, it calls you to make haste and answer. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but think about it. If the spirit of your understanding was on point, you wouldn't be in the position that you were getting checked, or that you were getting shown a better way or a proper way. That's why we got to be humble, because this spirit is in a lot of us, man. Like when we get put in any situation, this is like the first thing that pops up. Somebody tells you to do something, you're like, damn. This is the first thing that pops up. Those negative thoughts hit you, and it just makes you just want to say something. You just want to say something. Like, and a lot of times, like, you don't. A lot of times you don't. You don't gotta say.
You know why? It's like, I know 3 scriptures, so I got something to add. I got 3 scriptures to rub together, so my understanding counts too. Where it's like, well, your 3 scriptures don't apply in this situation. If they did, you would have used them right. You know, it'd be like that. Come on, man. You know the black man. Me and Kazak were talking about this the other day. The black man, he knows one Bible verse, and he know about everything. He know Christ is black, and guess what he knows? All the mysteries of the universe. He knows everything about everything, because he knows that Christ is black. It's like, come on, man.
Christ is black and we God, son.
Christ is black, we gods, the woman is God. They know everything. You can't tell them a damn thing because they know one thing. But that's a prideful thing to do. To feel like I know a little bit about one thing, so that means I know all the mysteries. Instead of saying, let me continue to learn. Let me humble myself. Let me learn. Because again, another repercussion of pride is you don't get to learn. You don't learn the things that you need to learn. Whether it be from man, you don't see the lessons that the Most High wants you to see. Damn. A lot of y'all, a lot of us miss out on the lesson. When it comes time for you to shut up, listen, a lot of you wives, the things that your husbands are trying to show you, instead of being combative and fighting it, take the time to listen. Take the time to shut your brain. It's not just about listening. It goes back to that scripture in Ecclesiastes. A silent and loving woman, nothing better than a mind well instructed. The only way you can instruct the mind is if the person is silent. The only way you can instruct a person's mind is if they're not given the answer before they even hear the question. A lot of us are guilty of not letting our mind be instructed. And then, now I got to deal with the repercussions of all your mishaps. That's the thing that we don't get, is that what you do don't just affect you. It affects me too, because we're a unit. We're a body, right? We're a body within a body. We're all members of a body, but then our household is a body within a body. So what I do affects the body, my household, and then it affects the body as a whole. So if I'm out making bad decisions, it's going to affect the body in some way, shape, or form. And these are the things we got to understand about pride, where pride will lift you up to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. But then when, again, you get brought down, and then the repercussions of your actions come to forth, it affects everything. One sinner destroyed much good. How? Because he let his pride get in the way. Pride is when, what does it say? Pride is when a man, the beginning of pride is when one depart from the Most High. If you ain't get it, if you ain't with the Most High, you got it?
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
Oh, yeah, we'll get it. We'll get to it. I'm just quoting it. But if you're not with the Most High, then who are you with? Now you're really just doing you. You with your own thoughts. You're with your own understanding. I like this Job. This Job is cold. Yeah. Damn. What is that, Job? What?
22 and 3.
Yeah, this Job is nasty. Read that again. Read that from the top. Because that is filthy.
Job, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer.
Yeah, see, your thoughts are going to cause you to answer, but is your answer needed? At this point in time when we're talking, is your answer needed? Or am I just instructing and showing you, well, you messed up here, or you did this good? You know, it don't require an answer.
It's like if you mumbled something under your breath.
That's an answer. Your
thoughts. Yeah, it wasn't needed.
Yeah, your thoughts. If you mumbled something in your mind, some of us got to learn how to shut our minds down. Because we play this game with ourselves like, well, I didn't say anything. Nah, nigga, but you thought it. You thought it. And that's what catapults. Mathaniah, bring it out.
When you say shut your mind down, what do you mean?
Just listen. Just listen. Because, think about it. Listen without, it's really about, and we went through a whole listening class. Right? Remember that class? We went through a whole listening class in the process. It's really just about listening and not trying to answer or come up with justifications really just listening and saying, okay, I got that. And then now when it's time to rebuttal or whatever the case may be, then you come with your rebuttal. But only after you've heard the entire instance. You see, a lot of us are guilty of, because a person got their voice raised, I'm going to automatically go on the defense. It happens. Your voice is raised, so now I got to defend myself. I have to what? Defend what? My ego? My pride? Nobody cares about it. I don't give a damn about nobody's ego or pride when something needs to be done or fixed or whatever the case may be. Your ego don't matter. Your pride don't matter because guess what? No one else cares. Only you care about your pride and how you look.
Man, that pride is deadly.
But you already look stupid by not letting me fix what needs to be fixed. You already look foolish, right? You already gave the sacrifice of fools when you decided you want to answer a matter before you heard the whole matter. Or you want to conjure up some reason why I'm wrong. Why I shouldn't be checking you. You conjure up a reason why your husband shouldn't be telling you nothing. Oh my God. It's funny. I'm laughing because I used to be like that. I used to always be on the defense with everything. Like, in my mind, I'm like, Then I had to just say, you know what, man, let me take constructive criticism.
That's all it is.
It's constructive criticism. And even if I'm doing what they're telling me to do already, okay,
It's a confirmation.
Yeah, it's a confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. It's like, look, you need to do this, you need to do this. You know, a lot of times, man, when things are when counsel's being given, it ain't like, oh, do it my way because your way sucks. It's really like, hey, there's like 50 million more ways to do this other than just your way. Or other than just the way I did it. Because guess what? I heard I can do it this way, do this way, do this way, and they all yield some type of result. You see what I'm saying?
Right, because I always learn two things. Two things actually. Advice, or count the word, because we use counsel, right?
Right.
But in actuality, it's just advice, right?
Right.
And to simplify advice, it's stuff you didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is we view it's like looking at this Bible, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is, because we only see it one way, we see it one way, but then we got the Most High, we got elders, we got brothers who are seeing it from every other angle on the opposite side. And all they're doing is giving us advice on how it is on the other side, or to try it this way to get the same effects of what happened. Why? Because they've already been there, and they understand what you're going through and how the object or the outcome might be.
You know what it is? Our ego doesn't want us to not know.
Right.
Our ego, and that's on point what you said. That's real. But our ego doesn't want to admit that you didn't know something, or you didn't do something right, or there's another way to do it other than your comfortable method. Our ego doesn't want us to be wrong.
Oh.
He got his hand up. What's up?
But no, it goes like you're saying, the typical black man, his famous words besides "I'm good" is "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, you start telling him something, it's like, "Yeah, I know." Why the hell did you do that? But again, read that one more time. In Job.
Job, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Therefore
do my thoughts cause me to answer.
Yeah, I already know that. Go ahead.
And for this I make haste.
Yeah, and then you start making, man, I already know that. I don't want to hear that. But then the whole time you making the wrong mistakes. Because pride got you to a point where you can't hear nothing. Go ahead, read on.
I have heard the check of my reproach.
Yeah, but then when I start getting checked in the spirit, right? Because the spirit be checking. Most High speak once, yea, twice. And man perceive it not. Now I got to get checked through the reproaches. Go ahead.
And the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer.
Right. But if you have the understanding, you would answer the correct way. What understanding is it that you have? And that, and
the Most High's understanding.
Right. What understanding are you using? What are you going to revert back to? gonna be prideful and say, well, I know I got checked, but so what? I'm going back to doing things the way I want. But see, this is all stemming from pride. But go ahead. Just wanted to chime in a little bit on that.
No, that's good.
What did verse 4?
That's good.
Where was that again? Psalms 20 and verse 23?
20 verse 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3, okay.
You can go to Galatians chapter 4, verse 1 and 2.
Like that.
Alright. Galatians chapter 4, verse 1 and 2.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 1 and verse 2. Give me a con when you got it. Con. No, I say that the heir.
So the heir, right? We're all heirs. We're all in here. We're all doing the work of the Most High. So we all have that reward. That's waiting for us. That eternity, that reward of eternity, right?
Con.
Read.
As long as he is a child.
So as long as you're a child, you're humble. Read.
Differeth nothing from a servant.
So you're not different from a servant. You're really not. You're made of flesh and blood just like the servant. You're doing the same works of a servant, just like them out there. The only difference between us and them out there in the world, we happen to know the truth, so we happen to be awakened to knowing that we're heirs. But we still go through the same battles they go through. Our battle's a little bit more spiritual, but just because we know the truth, that don't mean that we just look down upon them, or we don't treat them like they're humans, because they don't have the word, they don't have the truth, they don't have the wisdom. Yes, technically they are a beast, they act like a beast, but that don't mean like we treat them like they are beasts.
Good.
Nah, we try to bring them back, we try to restore them, we try to revive them. Read.
God. From a servant.
And why does he differ from a servant? Why does he not differ from a servant? Why does the heir not differ from a servant? Who knows?
Because we're imitators of Christ, and Christ made himself a servant when he was king.
Right? But and that's right. But in the context of this scripture, it's because you still have to be taught something. Oh, so what were you gonna? Oh,
Yeah, it was good.
what were you gonna say?
God. Because he does.
I rewinded it.
No, okay.
Go ahead.
Because he does not know.
Because he don't know.
He doesn't know how to be Lord over anything. He doesn't
Right.
know. He barely knows how to stop wetting himself.
Right.
He barely knows how to keep the red thing down. You know what I mean?
But imagine if he was just like, yeah, I'm the heir. Give me the throne. And he don't know a damn thing. He was going to be making all types of bad mistakes.
A lot of people are going to suffer in his rule.
Right.
God.
Read on.
Come.
So in other words, the heir has to learn how to be humble.
God.
Yeah.
He has to get humility down before he's able to get the throne.
Because humility allows you to do what? Oh, you guys had that? You guys have that?
Yeah.
Humility allows you to do what, Mathaniah? We've been saying it. I hope y'all paying attention.
What was the question?
What does humility allow for? What's that?
For an open mind state, for you to be willing to accept what you need to do to be right.
Well, it allows you to be taught. That's what humility does. It allows for proper learning. A lot of us don't know a damn thing because we're prideful as hell. That's just the bottom line. A lot of us make a lot of bad mistakes because of our pride. Because we think we know, and the things that we're supposed to know, we don't know.
That's why it said, we always pull in the 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 12. If there be first a willing mind.
If there first to be a willing mind.
Because that's the only way the Most High can work with you. If you have that willing mind to accept the stuff and the things that you don't know that He can put in you. So you do know, so you don't
Right.
So you don't mess up.
And just on that point that you just made, that's cold. Because you don't want to mess up. You don't want to make that mistake, especially once you transition from being that heir to the man in charge, to the king now.
But then,
well, once you become that king, you don't have room to mess up.
Right. But even if you do mess up, do you just chalk it up to I don't care? If somebody comes and says, "Damn, you messed up," you still gotta be in a humble mind to say, "Well, damn, how do I not repeat my mistakes?" Because pride brings destruction. It says pride goeth before destruction, right?
God.
But guess what? Whose destruction?
Yours.
Yours and everything around you. Let's go. Think about it. A prideful ass man is going to do what with his household? Destroy his house. A prideful sister is going to do what with her house?
Tear it down.
She's going to pull it down. She ain't going to build it. Her pride is going to pull her house down. But guess what? What does humility do to a young brother that got his new rib or new in the truth, and he's trying to do things accordingly? His humility is going to lift him up. But see, that's why the scriptures say, let me get this one real quick. Go to Psalms 37 verse 11.
God. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 11. God. But the meek shall inherit the earth.
The meek shall do what?
Inherit the earth.
So if the meek are going to inherit the earth, you think he ain't going to be able to run his house? You think he ain't going to be able to teach his wife? Raise his kids? The meek is going to get the whole earth. The earth with an F.
That's real.
That's the real earth. Think about it. It says the meek shall inherit the earth. The earth. Right? So if he's going to have the earth at his fingertips, you think his household ain't going to be in order? His children, his wife, himself? Of course. This is the beautiful thing about humility. Go ahead.
God. And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Yeah, but see, because pride brings what? Confusion. Pride brings confusion. There is no peace.
Yeah.
You said what?
I was going to say it brings the left hand and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, it says the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So guess what it's showing you? With humility, the Most High is rolling with you. In pride, the beginning of pride is when one depart from God. If you ain't got God on your side, you're done. You gotta, we look at this thing, pride, like it's just a thing where, I'm just prideful. I just got a demon on me. You don't want pride on you. You don't want it on you because now the Most High is not dealing with that. He is dealing with it, but he's not. You ain't going to get no peace in your life. You got to ask yourself, is my life peaceful? Is my life peaceful or is it chaotic? Why is it chaotic? Well, because I don't listen. I don't listen to the right things. I don't do the right things. I make wrong decisions. It says the meek shall inherit the earth. So if you're going to inherit the earth, everything around you is going to be in order. Right? Jump back.
God.
Galatians 4 and 2. Go ahead.
God. Last precept of verse 1.
All right.
Though he be Lord of all.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. But is under tutors and governors.
So that heir is going to be under tutors and governors. So we're going to have somebody of authority over us. We're going to have elder brothers, elder sisters. That's over us. Looking out for us. Guiding us, teaching us. Remember, the scripture says, I know I'm butchering it, but it says you got to have respect for your elder because they look out for your souls. Mm-hmm. You got to have respect for your head. All your head is doing is looking out for you. But we don't want to hear it sometimes. That pride jumps up and you don't want to hear it. But read.
God. Until the time appointed of the Father.
Because guess what? You're going to be an heir until the Father, the Most High, says, okay, now you can come up. Now you can be king. Ain't nobody else can give you that position. Like it says, one man planted, another watered, but the Most High gives the increase. You can be imparted with everything. Your head, your husband, your elder brother, your elder sister, whoever has some form of power or authority over you that's helping you, they can give you everything. But if you don't have the humility, the Most High is not gonna give it to you. He's not gonna give you the blessing. He's not gonna give you the reward.
He's not gonna make you the Lord over things.
You're still gonna be.
You're gonna still be under governors and tutors as an heir. You're always gonna just be the heir to the throne. You're never gonna be the ruler of the throne.
Yeah. Like it says, the slothful shall be on the tribute.
So you know it is really showing that if you don't pick up certain lessons early, you won't be able to move forward. you won't be able to move forward in your journey because you're constantly gonna have to be shown, okay, you made a mistake here, which is nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But it's how do you take it? How do you take the correction? That's what the Most High is looking at. How does this one take correction? Oh, they don't take it well, so guess what? Restart the test. How did it take the correction that time? Not good? Okay, well, restart the test. And you're going to have to keep doing things over and over and over and over and over until you finally say, damn, let me shut up and listen, let me be humble, let me just get past this. That's all it really boils down to. Is how am I receiving information? Am I receiving it in a way that I don't need it? Am I just, yeah, I hear you. Whatever, nigga. Sisters do that to their husbands in their minds. Y'all don't say it, but y'all do it. Like, he tell you to do something, the first thing that pops in your head is WTF.
Or I can't do it.
Or I can't do it, or why, or how, or what, or It's always, it's like,
huffing and puffing.
yeah, and some of them huff and puff. Yeah, right out in the open. It's like, damn. I just asked you to.
Sounded like Roselle-ish.
I asked you to make a sandwich, if that's what it even was. But it's really, it's really about our reactions to things and the way we process things and the way we look at what is being presented to us. Got brothers like that too. Tell them to do something, and the first thing in their mind is their mind causes a rebuttal. And it's like, failed. You failed. So now you're going to be constantly put in that arena until your mind, until you get it, till your mind humbles down to where it's like, come. Let me not try to overthink things. Come. Y'all get that?
That's why it says the time appointed of the Father.
Yeah.
Because the Father's the only one that can really know your mind, that can say,
you're ready.
He's ready.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. Jump to Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4.
Oh yeah.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4. By humility.
By what?
By humility.
By humility. Go ahead.
And the fear of the Lord.
And the fear of the Lord. So first you got to be humble, and then you got to fear the Most High. So, in fearing the Most High, you got to fear the people that, and when I say fear, I mean have respect. You got to have respect for your husband. You got to have respect for your fellow brothers. Because what happens when you have humility and fear of the Lord? Read.
Are riches.
That's when you can get the riches. Because then the wisdom can enter. Then your household starts to get blessed. Because the brother or the sister or the head, your husband, they're showing you how you can get your household blessed. They're showing you how you can do something better. They're showing you another way. And a lot of times, man, we get told a certain way to do something. Say we got a problem. Say we got an issue that we can't get over. And we're always being told, do it this way. Do it this way. Do it this way. Do it this way. And then you never try it, or you try it for a little bit and it
don't pan out because you weren't patient, or you disregard the info.
You gotta be patient.
You end up with very frustrating days.
Yeah. And then you get tired of hearing it. So you just become stubborn. So now as soon as that situation pops up.
Speak it, my brother.
Yeah, when that situation pops up and a brother is gonna tell you, you're like, I already know where you're going with this.
Does thou speakest from experience?
Thou speakest from many experiences.
God.
You're like, I don't even want to hear it. I'm like, oh man, you're gonna go here. I can almost tell you what you're gonna tell me word for word. And then the brother or the sister starts telling you, and you're like, and you're just saying it in your head.
Yeah.
Because you know it's coming.
You doing karaoke with your words.
But it's like you don't do it though. It's like you can go to the gym and you try to lift, and it's like, okay, it hurts. but you don't give yourself time to actually start letting it build and start growing. The brother or the sister, whoever it is trying to plant that seed. And then also water that seed. And then you gotta just be humble. Accept it. If the ground don't accept the seed, how's the seed gonna grow? But if you accept the seed and you accept the water, the Most High is gonna give the increase. You'll change it.
Well, it's like this. If I said, listen, plant this seed in the ground, water it, wait 6 months and it'll grow. And you come along, plant the seed in the ground, don't water it and think it's gonna grow and then get frustrated, whose fault is that?
Yours.
So, or if you do water it, right, and you want it to grow in 2 weeks, you didn't listen. I said, plant it, water it, give it 6 months.
Done.
That's how long it takes.
At least.
From my experience, this particular tree will take 6 months to bear fruit. If you just water it consistently, you might have to talk to it a little bit, make sure you give it plenty of sunlight.
Yeah.
But you say, okay, I did all that, but it ain't growing yet. It's like, but it's only been a day. It's only been a day. So what is it showing that? With pride, there's no patience. See, humility, you got to have patience. Read that scripture one more time from the top. Because there was something in there.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
By humility
Uh-huh.
and the fear of the Lord.
Think about it. Without humility, you can't even fear the Most High. You can't fear the Most High without humility. You can't be prideful as hell and fear something you ain't never seen. You can't. You can't be prideful and fear. You can't be prideful and have patience. It don't work. Because you're gonna in your pride, in your mind, you're gonna think that things are supposed to grow on demand. Things are supposed to happen when you say. Well, I watered it, I gave it sunlight, it ain't grow yet. It's supposed to be here. It's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be twinkling. Nah, bro, you gotta wait. You gotta do the will of the Most High. You have need of patience. That after you do the will, you might get the blessing.
Right.
That's my favorite scripture because it just shows you that we ain't supposed to be sitting back expecting nothing. We're not worthy of anything from the Most High. Everything we get is like, damn, I could have did all this work and not got this. We're not owed anything. Let's see. Right. We're purchased with a ransom. The Most High didn't, we ain't his ransom. Or excuse me, he's not our ransom. We're the ransom. We owe. We owe the debt. But see, a prideful mind is like, nah, I'm owed everything. I'm owed. Y'all, this gotta happen. So there's lack of patience with pride. There's no fear for the Most High with pride. But with humility, you fear the Most High, you're patient and waiting for the reward no matter what you're doing. You're abiding in your labor. Y'all see that?
Done.
Go ahead.
Our riches.
Can I say something on this riches part? Abiyar,
Yes, sir.
what's something that'll be rich to you?
Rich.
Yeah, well,
What do you count as riches?
what do you count as riches? What's like? Think about it. What's one thing that you want right now that you don't have? Because a lot of people, I'm gonna ask it to everybody, but a lot of people like a Bugatti might be rich to somebody, right? That's something they treasure. So rich is treasured, but to like Bill Gates, a Bugatti it's nothing. But what we have to Bill Gates, that's probably riches to him.
Come.
You know what I mean? So, but it's just to show how the world is just filled with vanity. It's filled with carnal things. But I'm asking, what's something that you don't have that'll be considered rich to you?
A few things.
But what's the one thing?
What keeps popping in my mind is a new house.
A new house?
Well-built house. With plenty of space.
A mansion.
I want one of those mansions that Yahweh Shai was talking about.
In my father's house, there are many mansions.
God.
God.
And there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. I'm not even looking for like a spiritual answer. I'm actually looking for like a carnal answer.
God.
Because if it's carnal, the Most High is like, bro, it's carnal. We'll just give it to you.
There's nothing to give it to you.
But if we don't have the humility and the fear, why isn't the Most High giving it to us? Ariel, what's the one thing? What's the one riches? What's the one thing that you don't have that you're like, damn, I wish I could have it?
Unlimited beef.
Batman costume.
Damn.
Like a real one that actually works with the car and stuff.
With the symbol and everything, right? Ninja stars and everything.
They're not ninja stars. They're batarangs.
Hey, know those that work among you. Amongst you.
No,
Cap City.
what's one thing that I want?
That you don't have. What's like that one rich I'm on it. Come back to you.
A life without pain every day.
A life without pain every day.
Come.
But see, to us, like I was saying, like to someone else, it was like we don't even think about that. But it's a riches. It's a riches, and it's like it's kind of carnal. I'm not gonna say it's kind of carnal. It is carnal. But when you think about it, like the Most High could just, at a snap of a finger, just make it happen. So like, when you think about it, it's like, damn, how come you? What am I doing wrong? We're not examining ourselves. Am I lacking humility? Am I lacking? There's got to be like some form of pride in me, where we're asking for it, but the Most High maybe is not bringing it how we would want it to come. So we're like not listening because we're prideful. We're thinking, oh yeah, my way is this way it'll work, or the doctors say this way, or the world says this way, or the internet says this way. But the Most High has a way. If we're pleasing to the Most High, it'll happen. That rich thing that we want, like it'll come, but we're lacking. It's something that we're lacking.
Because the scriptures say it's nothing on the sudden for the Most High
To make a
to make
poor
a
man
poor man
rich.
rich.
But you know why that scripture rings too? It says all of a sudden. Because a lot of times when we do get something in the truth, it's like that switch just finally went off. So I was like, damn, all of a sudden. It's like that it's like you have the seed and the plant just finally breaks through the seed. All of a sudden it just happens. It's like that light just went off. So a lot of we just gotta examine ourselves, man, and see like, damn, am I lacking humility? Is my humility where it needs to be? Is my fear of the Most High where it needs to be? Is this why the thing that I want is not coming through when it's carnal? To the Most High, it's nothing. To a lot of other people, it's nothing. So it's like, damn, why isn't it coming? You know what I mean?
Because oh my God, there's so many scriptures that it's like the scriptures say, ask and you shall receive. Right? Knocking, the door will be open. But it's like, think about how much you ask for. And think about how much you don't get.
We should ask him this.
Think about how much you don't get, though. Well, no, we know why. We know that a lot of things we ask for the wrong reasons. Right? We ask that we want to consume things on our lust. But imagine the things that you're asking for not in a lustful way. And you still don't get it. It's because we think that our pride tells us that we're owed something. Our pride tells us that I have to have this.
I got a scripture that goes with that.
What you got? Bring it up.
It's Luke chapter 17 and verse 10. It says, so likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. Like saying, you know, like the reward and the things that we're asking for that we want, that we think we should be getting, because we think it's due to us in our pride.
Right.
And if we don't get it and being hurt or feeling some type of way about it, we're really only doing what we're already supposed to do. We're not doing anything extra or above or exceeding above, beyond what we're supposed to do. We're
Thank
already just doing the bare
minimum.
minimum.
But guess what? The pride will tell you, well, I went out, I did this, I made your garment, I did this. But guess what? You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing what you're supposed to. You ain't doing nothing special. Why do you think you're not out in the world? Because you're not out in the world doing their wickedness and you're doing something righteous that you think now I'm owed something. Brother, the scripture said the duty of a man is to keep the commandments. That's the whole duty of it. Let us hit a conclusion. This is the duty of man. To keep the commandments. This was your duty from the jump. So now that you're doing it, your pride is telling you, is bringing you to a point. Is it raining?
Hard.
Your pride is telling you like, oh yeah, I'm doing something. You're owed. Or I'm doing something, so you can't tell me nothing. Nah, you're just doing what you were supposed to be doing anyhow. And this is where, a lot of people in the truth think because they got a couple of scriptures, man, or because they read a hair wrap or they throw on some fringes that they're doing something. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? You doing what, like, you grew a beard finally? Like, I don't even take effort. You just leave it. Right? You don't even. All you do is just wake up and the beard is there. Why you think you're doing something? But pride will tell a man, oh, well, my beard. I grew a beard. My beard is bigger than yours. Oh, I got my fringes on every corner of every garment. I got fringes hanging from my shoulder, from my neck. Got fringes on my sleeves. So now he's unreproachable. When it comes down to, well, how do you treat your brother? How do you treat your sister? Oh, you dealing with your wife wrong. Well, nah, with my fringes, my fringe game. Where your fringes? It gets to these things. It's all bad, man. It's all bad. But where we at?
Oh.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Proverbs 22:4.
Is desiring and asking for or wanting the same thing?
Well, no. Well, if you desire it, are you just desiring it in your head?
Yeah, like when I pray, I never pray like, oh, I want a big fancy restroom.
Right.
I desire, a big fancy restroom, but I don't.
You don't ask the Most High for it.
I don't ask the Most High for it because I feel like.
Maybe you should.
I got, the fancy restroom, but I never asked for it.
Well, the Most High says He knows what you want.
Right.
He knows your thoughts. You
So
see
is that
that?
the same thing? Like, if I desire it, is that saying, oh, this is what the Most High should give me, or?
Well, no, because the Most High does tell us to ask. The Most High does tell us to ask Him for things. So, but then He also comes back and says He knows He knows our thoughts, right? So, but you do have to ask. You do have to ask for things. I mean, and you'll get it or you won't. It's a lot of us don't want to ask for things because we know that the things we ask for are just useless. That we want it for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with having a nice bathroom. I mean, I want a 5-piece bathroom. You know what I mean? I want my toilet with its own door.
You feel me? As big as a school.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I want a walk-in closet in my bathroom. That's what
I want to walk in.
I like it.
and shower.
There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. It's really about, am I selling out to these nice things? Am I deterred? Do I gotta, instead of being in class and doing my duties to the school and to the Most High, am I gonna go work the extra OT hours all the time and never be around to make sure I get my bathroom? Or am I gonna still do you got Israelware, you got all these things that you're doing, you got these different offices, am I gonna make sure my offices are still afloat? And let the Most High just, through His magic, through His way of doing things, give me a house with a nice bathroom in it. You see what I'm saying? So, there's nothing wrong with desiring things. There's nothing wrong with asking, but I desire a few things. There's some things I just don't ask for. You know what I'm saying? There's just things I just don't ask the Most High for. I'm just like, it would be nice, but yeah, I'm good. Because I know where my mind is when I ask for certain things. When you ask for 2-seaters, you know what I'm saying? That means you ain't trying to get no rides. You know what I'm saying? When you ask for a 2-seater, it's like, I ain't gonna ask for that.
Porsche.
Yeah, y'all let me get the 2-seater. That's real fast. That means you ain't gonna be available to get nobody a ride. So I just leave that out the prayers.
You probably just driving on Saturday.
Right, and then I'm like, even if I had that, even if I had some of the things that I do desire, it's like, what am I going to be able to use that? Now, bathroom, that's different. You use that every day. So why not have a nice one? Why not ask the Most High, like, man, let me have a nice house, nice bathroom? Especially if it's not going to deter you from what you have to do or what you've already been doing. But that's why the scripture comes back and says, when you ask and you have not. Get that real quick. That's James. Get that real quick. It's in James. I don't want to get too far off the topic, but
it's James chapter 4, verse 3.
James chapter 4, verse 3.
Read that real quick.
Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss.
Why do we ask amiss? Go ahead.
That ye may consume it upon your lust.
Yeah, because a lot of the things we ask for and don't get, because we know it's a lustful ask. I'm asking for something that I can consume on my lust. I don't want to share it with the camp. I don't want to share it with nobody. This is for me. You know, 2-seaters for me. In the bags. Right? Anyway. But you see that? Yeah. Go ahead.
You know, it's crazy when you think about what Solomon asked for when he became king. And the Most High, you know, it was like, what do you want? Solomon asked for the wisdom to judge his people. And the Most High was like, since you asked for the wisdom to judge the people, you didn't ask for any other thing that a king would ask for. Because see, when you really think about it, when he asked for wisdom to judge the people, he didn't ask for the benefit of himself. He wasn't asking, he wanted the wisdom, but yeah, it was for his brothers, it was for his sisters, the nation. So a lot of times when we ask, it's like we gotta be like Solomon, like, okay, like, what am I lacking spiritually? Help me with the things that I'm lacking spiritually so that I can help everybody else. Because the Most High knows, man. He knows what we want. He knows what we need. He sees our minds. He sees our thoughts. Like, he knows what I want. He knows. So, like, when I pray, I do ask, but it's not like, before I ask that, I always ask, like, get the negativity out of me. Get rid of my weaknesses. And a lot of times the Most High is trying to get rid of the negativity or the weakness, but it's just he's doing it in a way where it's like you don't realize, or it's a way that you don't like, or a way that you don't understand. But that's why it's very important to be humble. That humility and the fear of the Most High is very humble, because when you do humble down and you do finally get it, you're like, that's why. This is why. A lot of times we pray for a lot of times the Most High puts us in situations to work on something that we didn't even know that we lacked. And because we don't examine ourselves like we should. We don't see like, damn, I'm lacking this. The Most High puts us in this situation for you to fix this quality that you're lacking, fix this negative attribute that you're lacking. And then once you fix it, then the things that you've actually been praying for will come through. A lot of times, man. But jump to, finish that. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4. It's another brother gave me Proverbs 15 verse 33. These go hand in hand.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4. But humility and by humility and the fear of the Lord are riches.
Read.
And honor.
And honor. Read.
And life.
And life. So you got to be humble. You got to have that humility, the fear of the Most High, and all these things come. Look at it. Riches, honor, and humility. Isn't that what everybody wants? At the end of the day, think about it. That's what you want. You want great health. That falls under life. You want a nice, beautiful family. That falls under life. You want honor. You want your wife. You want your husband. You want your kids. You want your brothers, your sisters to respect you. That's the honor. When I say respect, I don't mean like bow down to you or anything, but they know they can come to you for anything, for wisdom, for knowledge. If they need help, they know they can come to you. You're like the first person they think about. They love you. It's like if you were to pass, it's like when Moses passed, the whole nation wept. Riches. These are the three things that, think about somebody that any human would want. You want a life where you want your body to be healthy, your family to be healthy. You want to be looked at as by your family, your friends, your brothers, and your sisters as a righteous, great person to your kids. And then with the riches, you want to be able to say, man, I don't lack anything. But it says by humility and fear of the Most High, you get all these things. So if we're lacking one of it down, what am I missing? Is my humility where it needs to be? Is my fear of the Most High where it needs to be? Read that, Proverbs chapter 15 and 33.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. The fear of the Most High is the instruction of wisdom.
So the fear, so it says, back in 22 and 4, it says, by humility and the fear of the Lord. Read 15 and verse 33.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. The fear of the Most High is the instruction of wisdom.
So, now we understand what the fear of the Most High is. It's the instruction of wisdom. So now when it's being brought, if you're being rebuked, if you're being checked, if you're being reproved, if you're being cleansed, if you're being shown a proper way, and you're rejecting it, you're not letting it come in, you don't fear the Most High. Because that's the Most High talking through that brother, or that's the Most High talking through that brother, your husband, your sister. But now you're seeing, if that's in you, now you're seeing what's that, something that could hinder you.
Yeah, because you know what some of y'all be thinking? You ain't Christ. You ain't the Most High. I know I'm not the Most High or Christ. But instruction through wisdom is going to come from man. It ain't going to come from the Most High himself. He ain't never talked to nobody. Christ ain't going to come down to talk to you, Shara, or you, Lamad, or you, Ariah. Christ ain't coming down to just deal with y'all. What you got, Zion?
I got something right on that point.
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 29.
Read it.
It says, fear the Lord with all thy soul, and reverence his priests. It says, love him that made thee with all thy strength, and forsake not his ministers.
Right, because they're the ones that are coming with the instruction. What's that, Amwana?
What scripture was that?
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 29 and verse 30.
Yeah, because they're the one coming with the instruction. But as soon as it comes, it pops in your mind like, well, you ain't Christ. You ain't, you didn't. Right? As soon as that pops in your head, that pride, you automatically take your way out of the instruction from the Most High. Right? You take your way. I got it. Go ahead. I got something. I gotta find it.
Finish it.
All right. Proverbs chapter 33.
15 and 33.
15 and verse 33. Last precept. And before honor is humility.
So before the Most High can change you from being that heir to a king, before he actually gives you the increase, the humility has to be there. The humility has to be there, but the fear has to be there. The reverencing of the priests has to be there. Of the ministry, of the husband, of the elders, it has to be there. Because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's how the Most High is going to give you the blessing. What you got?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 18. It says, the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. Yeah. And wisdom obtaineth his love.
So the fear of the Lord, right? And if I read back 15 and 33, it says the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom.
Ooh, I got one. Proverbs 1 and 7. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. Who got it?
Con. Proverbs. You said 1 and 7?
1 and 7.
Chapter 1 verse 7.
Go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Is the what?
Beginning of knowledge.
And the fear of the Lord goes into that pride. Right?
Good.
So, why aren't you knowledgeable? Because you're prideful. Why aren't you knowledgeable in your own? Why aren't you knowledgeable even in your own dwellings? I'm a woman. What, you got your hand up?
That goes with Ecclesiastes 10 and 12, right? The beginning of pride is when one depart. They're like polar opposites.
It's polar opposites, right? The beginning of pride is when one depart from the Most High. But see, now we got to ask ourselves, why aren't we as knowledgeable as we should be in certain aspects of life? Because in certain aspects, our pride tells us that we know something. Like, oh, I know how to deal with the women, I'm good. I know how to deal with cars, I'm good. I know how to deal with this, I'm good. But if you knew how to deal, then we wouldn't have so many issues in that area. You might be good in other areas, but in this particular area, nah, my bro, we need work. But see, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You don't want to understand knowledge. You don't want to get the knowledge on how to deal with things, so you're withdrawing yourself. You're withdrawing your mind. The fear of the Lord, the pride is what one, the beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High. You see how we're showing you the balance of things? Right? Go ahead. Read on. Finish that.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Yeah, but a fool, a prideful man, he's going to despise wisdom and instruction because he thinks that he already has it. So what does he get? He gets you reap what you sow. And a lot of the things that we sow, the reaping process is harsh. You reaping stones, you reaping weeds. You wondering why, like, damn, how come when I put my hands to something it don't grow? How come my household ain't growing? How come I'm not growing? How come spiritually I'm not growing?
Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11.
Wisdom
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable.
He's what?
Miserable.
We got to ask ourselves, why are we miserable on a day-to-day? Why does your life feel like it's damn torment? Why is it that when at the end of my day, I want to go commit spiritual and physical suicide? Why do I want to kill myself? Why do I want to go walk face first into traffic at the end of the day? Because you know what? When it was time for me to apply the instruction, I didn't do it. So now the results that I have suck. So guess what? Now I'm getting down on myself. Now I'm condemning myself. Now I don't want to be around. But if I would have just been humble and listened at 12 o'clock, my whole day would have been ruined. If I would have just listened in morning class, if I would have listened to my husband before I left the house, I wouldn't come home and have such a messed up day. If I would have listened to the brother when he was telling me, nah, we know you've been doing it like this for so long, but look at it like this. If I would have just looked like, oh yeah, I see, damn, let me do it like that. Instead of saying, nah, I don't even want to look. I don't want to look at that. I don't even want to hear that. Now you're miserable. Now guess what? You got one miserable day, then you add another miserable day to that. Now you're just unbalanced. Now you just beat yourself up. Now you're not good enough. It goes into so many different mind states. Pride will take you into damn condemnation. Because you'll be brought so high and then brought so low. We gotta understand it. We gotta see it where, and you know, we're hitting all these different scriptures to show, like, what is it when you're prideful? What is happening? You're really departing from knowledge. You're really departing from the know-how on situations. What you got?
No, can I just finish this?
Of course you can.
That's okay. And their hope is vain.
And their what?
And their hope is vain.
Why? Because you thought that your way of doing things was going to get it done. So you're hoping, like, I hope that this, in your mind, you're like, yeah, we're going to get it.
And that way never worked.
And it don't work. And that way, say it again.
That way never worked.
That way never worked. But guess what? You, for some reason, keep believing in that way. It never yielded results, ever.
It's called insanity.
It's called insanity. Right? Now you're insane because you're prideful. But think about it. Your way never worked. And then you sitting there hoping for your way to work, but brothers are like, nope, do it this way. Nah, sis. Nah, bro. Nah. And then you like, nah, I'm gonna do me. And then now you miserable. Now you hoping in vain. I'm one. You had your hand up.
I made a note in the side of my apocrypha and nurture. The definition I wrote down is educate and training.
Ooh.
So that goes just with what you're saying. Is you're not going to accept the education and the training that you're being given here from people who have gone through it and fought through it and suffered through it because you're closed-minded now. You have the pride on. You can't see it.
Because, and it goes right back to Galatians 4. The heir is no different from the servant. See, the appointed time is when you let your mind open up and say, damn, I'm willing to accept knowledge. I'm willing to accept nurture. I'm willing to be nurtured into my position. See, a lot of us be committing spiritual suicide by saying, you know what? I'm not good at the position that I've been put in, but I'm not going to give myself a chance to grow into it because I'm not going to do the things necessary. I'm not going to keep the ordinances of the way things have been shown to me. So what happens? You get in a position, try to do it your way, you suck at it, you beat yourself up, you want to quit, and then it's like, nah, bro, you ain't going to quit. You're going to keep fighting. You're going to keep showing you, we're going to keep bashing into you how to do things the right way. Not for my benefit, for yours. So you're no longer what? Oh, miserable.
Miserable.
Because pride brings misery. Pride brings misery, and it also brings vain hope.
Right.
Damn.
I hope y'all are writing this down, because that was a cold scripture.
I got another one in the back door.
But this is the things y'all should have like on y'all sheet. Pride, humility. Pride brings vain hope. It brings you miserable, death, condemnation, unfruitful. Right, and then you say, and then what you do is, you know what you do? You sit back and you say, how much of these am I dealing with? Do I got more on the pride side or more attributes of humility? That's what you do. Examine yourself whether you be in the truth, in the faith. Excuse me.
God.
It's important. We have to look at things like this because we can't deceive we got to stop lying to ourselves, man. We got to stop lying to ourselves and thinking that we got it, thinking that we know. We don't know a damn thing. I don't know nothing. I just know what I know. But I can't act like I know something outside of what I know. I'm going to tell you, I don't know. When we get to the point where we know every damn thing, nobody can tell us nothing, making yourself miserable, man. Think about it. You got to ask yourself, am I miserable in the truth? And why? What else you got? I like that.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 3, and it's right with that because these scriptures keep showing that the Most High is not with this mind state. The Most High is, that's actually enmity to the Most High. You're an enemy to the Most High when you have this, like the scripture says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter... You're an
enemy to the throne, baby.
Con.
Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 3. For forward thoughts separate from God.
What thoughts?
Forward thoughts.
Yeah, because forward thoughts are basically my own way of wanting to do things. My own prideful mind state. It does what?
Separate from God.
Go ahead.
And his power.
And his what?
And his power.
Well, you weak as hell, because pride brings weakness. Yeah. You're no longer powerful. You no longer, the scriptures say, ye are gods. But you shall die like men. You lost your power, baby. You lost your power. Go ahead.
When it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
Read it from the top. Where you at?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Uh-huh.
And his power.
Uh-huh.
When it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
You see that?
Because it's like they're going against the grain. It's like they rather do it their way, not the Most High's way. So the Most High's like, cool, since you want to do it your way, you finna come get this check-in real quick.
Yeah, that goes into what? That goes right back into that Job.
Come on.
That goes right back into that Job. That Job 2 and that Job
20 and 2.
20 and 2. I keep. Go ahead. What you got?
It's just the definition of forward. It says a person difficult to deal with or contrary. So obviously you're contrary to what's going on or the plan, the motion, the spirit that the Most High has going on. You're contrary to that. You're opposite. You're being difficult.
Ooh.
It says yeah, that's about it.
Y'all understand that, right? We're go ahead. We got 15 minutes. Go ahead.
First Peter's, what's up?
What you got?
Oh, no, it's another. It says, habitually disposed.
It's what?
Habitually disposed.
Yeah, when something is habitual, dude, it's like always happening. You're always just against. Your pride is always just blazing. You never give yourself a chance. You know, you gotta really see it, man. That pride, you never really give yourself a chance to succeed. You shoot yourself in the foot before you even start running, man. Before you even get a chance to start walking, you shoot yourself sitting down. That's what pride does to us. And you never get a chance to launch and see what you really are made of. You never get the chance to see what you really are. What manner of man or woman you really are, because the pride in you is blocking the growth.
You finished with that definition?
Yeah.
It says, this is the definition of froward. Habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition.
Go back to, read that Wisdom of Solomon one more time. Oh my God.
Which one?
1 and 3.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 3.
Yeah, read that.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Read.
And his power.
You see this? Check this out. It says, and his power, right? So you're no longer in the power of the Most High.
God.
Read.
When it is tried.
What's crazy is you still trying to try the power of the Most High. That's what it's saying. When it is tried. When what is tried? His power. His power. When it is tried. The pride of the man is like, I'm going to try the Most High. I'm going to try the Most High. I'm going to go against the knowledge.
God.
Go ahead.
When it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
Yeah, but his power reproves the unwise.
God.
That knowledge crushes a fool.
God.
Because
people don't understand. It's a cold scripture. It's like people really don't understand when they go against something, you're going against the Most High.
Yeah.
That's why it says reverence his priest. It says fear the Most High and reverence his priest. The words that are being said to you is being said to you for a reason.
Right.
But whenever you start going with this attitude, like, oh, it's my way, you just doing this because you want to do that. Nah, that's the Most High's way. That's why he just be smashing. You're unprofitable. You're miserable. You're crying all the time. You're bipolar. You're emotional.
Yeah, because, man, that is a nasty one. Read that one more time. Jesus.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Think about it. You gotta really look at it like I'm separated from the Most High, but I'm gonna still try his power.
Because you're difficult.
I'm gonna still try to go against. I'm separated. Well, and that's the thing. It's not that hard. When I'm separated, I'm already going against.
Not knowing is crazy.
Yeah.
You think you trying something else.
Because in my pride is telling me to go against, be forward. But in that whole forwardness, guess what's happening? I'm getting checked. My pride is being displayed, and the knowledge, the power of the Most High is checking me. That's why it says when it is tried, the power, what is the power? The wisdom, the knowledge, right? When that's being tried against your forwardness, you're being reproved. That's what, and a prideful person won't see that though. A prideful person won't see, like, damn, I'm being checked right now. Damn, that's cold. Go ahead.
Reprove the unwise, is it?
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
1 Peter chapter 5 verse 6.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 6.
Yeah, it's cold. Go ahead.
Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God.
Do what?
Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God.
Read.
That he may exalt you in due time.
Because you're not going to exalt yourself. You're not.
Some of us think we can.
God. Well, yeah, we're not going to do it. So we got to let that pride go, man, and see, like, it's just not going to happen. Because if it would have happened, if your way would have exalted yourself, gotten you through whatever you're going through, or gotten you better, or gotten you the things that you wanted, it would have happened. Because why would you wait?
Right. And again, you got to ask yourself, if my way was the way, why am I being stripped? Why is the Most High, why am I being constantly reproved? Why is the Most High constantly showing me like, no, get back in line. No, get back over here. Guess what I'm going to take? Job, house, car, woman, this, that. Why? Because your way ain't the way. The way you want to do it You want to cut corners. You want to think that it's all about you. So I'm going to show you that it's not all about you. It should be about me. And then I'll make it about you. But you made it about you, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to focus on you. Most High said, I'm going to focus on you. And when he illuminates all the BS, right, and starts chiseling things away from you, that when he takes the job, when he takes the car, takes the kid, takes the wife, right, and then you're stuck there like, damn, I should have listened. I should have, could have. Hindsight 2020. It always is. That never changes.
Crystal clear.
It's clear. Yeah, it's crystal clear because you see what you should have did. But guess what's even more 2020? Counsel. It's safety in the multitude of counsel. Listening to the instruction. Don't let that pride put you to a point where it's like, well, you need to come to class. Well, I ain't gonna come to class. And then things start getting ripped away from you, and it's like, damn, I should have came to class, dog. I should have been in class, and then, you know, the Most High wouldn't strip me the way He stripped me. What you got?
Just on that point, Job chapter 34 and verse 32.
Man, you getting that boy Job hard. He pulled the flamethrowers from Job. Job what?
34 and verse 2.
34 and verse 32.
Job chapter 34 and verse 32.
Go ahead.
What should I see? That which I see not, teach thou me.
And you know why this is crazy? We never say this to ourselves. We don't understand, and we're getting checked, we're getting reproved, we're getting corrected, we're getting shown a better way, but we never actually say this to ourselves.
Like, show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's always in our mind, like, nigga, don't talk to me, don't tell me nothing, I don't want to hear it.
And even if you're shown, you're like, nah,
that ain't me.
That can't be it.
Yeah, no, that's not right. We never consider. We never consider, like, damn, if a person's telling me to do something, if my husband is telling me to do something, maybe I should consider what he's telling me, because he's, you know, brothers in the truth. I'm talking about brothers in the truth. With wives, if my husband is telling me something scripturally, let me consider that, because he might be looking out for my well-being. He might be trying to prevent my Pharaoh-like downfall. Right? He might be preventing my destruction. We don't consider. It's like, read that one more time.
Verse 32.
Verse 32. That which I see not, teach me, teach thou me.
Yeah, don't teach me nothing. Don't show me where I'm off. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
You're wrong. It's never like, damn, he's looking out for me.
Or like, really? Like I do that?
Or really? Yeah, that's me. Let me change that. It's always like, no, that ain't me. No. You just picking on me. You're always so negative. You're always just correcting me. Pride, man. The humble side should say, damn, is that me? Let me consider my ways. Right? Israel never wants to consider their ways. They always just want to defend and rebuttal and cast blame and be the victim. Right? Instead of saying, damn, well, he's my husband, and he's not telling me something to make me go off. He's trying to build, so let me consider what he's saying. Damn, that's my elder. The brother ain't here to he ain't here to bend me over the damn pulpit and steal my soul. I mean, I've been here 15 years, and he's been teaching me the right thing for 15 years. Why the hell am I going to consider something different now? I've been with my husband for 10 years, 15, 80 years, a million years for some of us, a million years with your husband. He ain't steered you wrong. He ain't had you homeless. He ain't pimped you once. He ain't said, baby, hit this. Not once. But as soon as he says, man, maybe you should change that, look at that, because your spirit is a little bit going off. It's like, nah.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand what I'm going through. It's like, what? I live with you. I understand a lot. I'm just trying to show you that I do understand and how to correct it. But the pride in the man is like, yeah, no, you just don't get it. This is only the Most High knows. This is my battle. show you how to at least alleviate some of that misery that's in you. Let me help you to not be miserable. Let me help you to understand. Let me show you. Here, look, boom, go here. Go here. Maybe you should come to class more. Yeah, I know. You might be going through some things, but guess what? Maybe if you show the Most High that you'll dedicate to Him, guess what He'll do? He might alleviate you from some of that misery.
That's book. That's
Just saying.
What a man
Right? When a man's ways please the Most High, his enemies will be at peace. So you think He won't alleviate you of whatever pains and depressions and illnesses? Of course. But you got to do the will of the Most High. It goes back to, for you have need of patience. I love that scripture. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On this point, Job chapter 5, 8 and verse 5. What you just said.
Where were you in Job again? Because I was just filthy.
No,
read that. Finish that, Job. We ain't going to move from that yet.
Job 34, verse 32.
Read that.
That which I see not, teach thou me.
Read.
If I have done iniquity, I will do no more.
But see, you got to look at it. He said, teach me. That which I see not, teach me, so that I won't continue to repeat my mistakes. But as soon as you say, as soon as the pride in you puffs up and says, nah, that ain't me, guess what you're going to do 10 minutes later? Same mistake. Same mistake. You got a brother that his thing is once again, once again, once again. And every time it's like, stop saying once again, stop saying once again. But if he was like, nah, I don't say that, guess what he would have said 5 minutes later? Once again, once again, once again. Nah, I mean, brother, nah, I mean, nah, I'm saying, nah, I mean. Nah, you keep saying, nah, I mean. No, I don't. Nah, I mean. But if you sit back and consider like, damn, hey, brother, you know, you keep saying this and it don't sound right. Damn, I say that? Yeah, you said it like 15 times in like one sentence. Your whole sentence consisted of nah means. All right, let me, now you can actually do what? When now you can actually consider, ponder, and say, damn, he's right. I do say that, or I do that. And then what can you do? You can eradicate that out of your vocabulary. You can change.
Grow.
You can grow. I'm a one.
It's kind of like having that mirror and mirror.
Yeah, mirror on the wall.
But we have that in the brothers and sisters here because they see what we don't see.
But do you see that? I mean, you're saying it. I'm asking you. Do you see that? I'm now see because you raised your hand. Do you see? Sit down, Abiyar. Move over. I want to look this sister in the eye. I can't see her. Move over a little bit. Do you see when your husband is dealing with you on certain topics that that's what it's for? That's what he is. He's your mirror. He's the one that's looking from the outside. Because this is the thing that we have to understand. And I hope everyone understands this. None of us are perfect, right?
God.
None of us are perfect. But if you're going through something, what are you thinking about? Thank you. A lot of us think about what we're going through rather than how do I fix what I'm going through. Right. So now your husband's job, and I'm gonna stay with you. Your husband's job is to do what? Say, well, I know you're going through things. Let me supply the remedies. Right. See, but you can't be stuck in the prideful mind of, well, I'm going through things you don't understand, you don't get it, or you will never know, or it's just me. You got to remember, the scriptures say there's nothing that's uncommon. There's nothing that's uncommon to man. So, I mean, and I'm asking you because you said it. And you got to remember it. We got to live by every word we utter, right? So you got to remember that, yes, your husband's your mirror. Younger brothers, the elders are your mirror. Me, I got a mirror. I can't every time Kazak tells me something like, nah, that ain't me. I didn't do that. I would never grow. I would never be able to sit back and give myself a chance to digest what he's telling me and say, damn, okay, yeah, I got to change that. Yeah, he's right on that. Yep. I would never grow. I would never get to a point where I can sit up here and teach anybody. I wouldn't. I would not afford myself that luxury to do that. Because why? I wasn't willing to hear my imperfections, because the pride in me is telling me, nah, I'm perfect already. I already got it. So then guess what happens? You come, you sit up here, and then things happen, and you don't have it, and you're made out to be what? A fool. You're answering questions all wrong. You're breaking down scriptures wrong. Your topic is off. You know, you start on one topic, end up on a whole nother. But it's like, if I wasn't told, hey, when you're dealing with this topic, make sure that you stay on topic, right? If I wasn't told that, I would think, oh, I already got it. But if I'm told that, and it's like, well, no, I stayed on topic. Well, no, you didn't, because you went to this scripture where it had nothing to do with your topic. Oh, okay, come. Or I can just be like, nah, well, the way I see it, the way I look at it, that's how we get, like the way I look at it. The way you look at it is not right. The way you look at it is not right. That's why somebody has to tell you.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. We're here for, and you know, it's not for like one person to master over another and to make you feel like you ain't crap and make you feel like you're a dunghill and a doormat, but it's really for what? For your growth. It's really for you to be better for your husband, for your wife, for the body. That's what it's about. It's like, why don't y'all want to be better? Who don't want to be better? You want to be better?
God.
You want to be the best, right? Jeremiah? Bree, do you want to be the best? Lamar, you want to be the best? I'm like DJ Kyle, we the best, right? We the best, but how? How do you be the best? You got to be shown that you're not the best and how to change. You have to. Or else what? Here comes the pain. Here comes the job gone. I keep saying it. Car gone, mind gone, rib gone. The worst part is when your mind is gone. When it's like, damn, hey, she don't want to hear a damn thing. I'm like, what? She don't want to, what? But her mind is gone. 1 minute she wanted to hear it, but then her pride puffed her up to a point where she don't even want to deal with the Bible no more. What do you do with that? It's a hard case. The mind, when the mind is no longer willing to hear the wisdom of the Most High, then there's a problem. Where we at? I can go all night. Where we at?
Job chapter 8, verse 5.
We're going to do like 2 more hours.
Job chapter 8.
It's actually good.
Oh, you're Dan? Oh, nice. Dan?
Not even close.
Not even?
Nah. This is it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Job chapter 8 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
God, if thou wouldest seek unto the Most High betimes.
And we went into that. We went into how you seek the Most High. By fearing and reverencing. I know how do you say that word?
Reverence.
Reverence.
Reverencing.
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 Just reverence is priest.
Reverence is priest.
Yeah,
as long as you do that,
Reverence the priest.
that's how you fear the Most High times, and you're receiving instruction and wisdom.
Yeah, even that word reverence means to show respect. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you talk about, it's almost like for example, it talks about practicing rehearsing the righteous acts.
Right.
Because that's the righteous act. You're respecting. If you can respect your neighbors, those above you, you definitely gonna respect the Most High. But it's like if you can't even do the bare minimum of respecting the brother next to you that's in flesh and blood, that's working with you, well, how you gonna respect the Most High? So reverence is it's honoring, it's showing respect.
Some point.
Hold on. Back to Job chapter 34 verse.
Go back to Job real quick. We got to hit verse 32.
Verse. Which one is it?
Job chapter 34 and verse 32. We got to hit 33.
No, 33.
Yeah, bro. This is, oh my God.
34 and verse 32.
Oh my
And
God.
verse 34.
Read that.
Verse 34.
Ugh.
Let men of understanding tell.
No. Read verse 32.
Verse 32.
Uh-huh.
That which I see not, teach thou me.
Read.
If I have done iniquity,
Read.
I will do no more.
Go ahead.
Should it be according to thy mind,
Read.
he will recompense it.
Read.
Whether thou refuse,
Read.
or whether thou choose,
Read.
and not I.
You see that? He said, should it be according to thy mind, he will recompense it. So if I'm taking the counsel, if I'm listening, the Most High is going to reward it either way, whether I refuse or I choose to listen. So what is my pride going to tell me to do? Listen? to the correction, or what am I gonna bow to? Pride or humility? That's what we gotta ask ourselves. But guess what? Either way, the Most High, He will recompense it, whether thou refuse or whether thou choose. Go ahead.
And not I.
Read.
Therefore, speak what thou knowest.
Read.
Let men of understanding tell me.
Wait, let who?
Men of understanding tell
There's
me.
some random ass cat off the street that's trying to correct me.
Men of understanding
Go ahead.
tell me. And let a wise man hearken unto me.
And that's what we gotta understand. See, pride allows us to block out who's speaking to us. We forget through our pride that, damn, this is a wise man. This is a Bible-toting man. This ain't a nigga with a Quran. This ain't a nigga trying to beat me. This is a brother with a Bible trying to talk to me, trying to talk some sense into me. He ain't trying to beat no sense into me. He ain't trying to kick me down those steps. He ain't trying to kick me out the car. He ain't trying to drop kick me off the balcony. Right? He ain't trying to pimp me or stab me.
None of that.
This is a man of understanding. But pride will be like, man, you don't know nothing. Humility is like, damn, this is a wise man in front of me. Let me chill. Humility is like, damn, this is a brother that understands the oracles of the Most High. Let me listen. Right? Let me wear out the footsteps of the wise man, of the elder. But a prideful person is like, I don't give a damn who you are. Officer, the hell is that? It's like when you get home and it's your rib, you like lose all rank. When her pride comes up, her pride pops up, you lose all rank. Like you just nobody now. You a man that tells other men what to do, but when your rib's pride kicks up, it's like you just a nigga. She forgets that you run a school, or that you got brothers that you counsel and guide. She forgets that because the pride in her tells her that what you got to say don't matter. The pride tells her that you're no longer wise for some reason.
Or even on the opposite, when you don't have men up under you.
Right. Or even if you don't have men up under you, the pride in her tells her that you ain't using the Bible. You're not using the ultimate wisdom. You're just talking from yourself. See, so another thing that pride does, it blinds us. It blinds us from seeing where the wisdom is coming from. What's up?
I believe they call that talking out the side of your neck.
Yeah, you talk out the side of your neck while you're doing this. While your neck is popping. You pop it, and then your mouth ends up.
Right.
Right, but yeah, I just wanted to get that point in. Oof, that was. Go back.
Job chapter 8 verse 5. If thou wouldest seek unto the Most High betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty,
Read.
If thou wert pure and upright.
See, that's the stipulation. If you're pure and upright. Read.
Surely now he would awake for thee.
So if the Most High is not awakened for you, if he's not moving, maybe he's not moving on your time. But really, what we need to check is, damn, am I pure? Is my mindset pure? Am I walking uprightly? What am I lacking? What am I doing where the Most High is? He don't want to wake up for me. He don't want to fight for me. It says, it says he would awake for thee. That means he's still asleep on you.
Yeah.
You got to wake the Most High up. You got to get his attention. You got to be known to the Most High.
And pride ain't going to do it. Humility is going to do it. He give grace unto the humble.
Got to catch his attention.
Yeah. You don't think about Moses. How did Moses catch the Most High's attention? He could have picked a lot of men. He picked Moses. Moses was the meekest man of them all. He was humble.
Same way he did David too.
Yeah. They were humble. Could have picked anybody. But he wasn't going to deal with a prideful ass man. Yeah, we ain't got time. But go ahead. Yeah,
go ahead.
Done. And make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous.
Yeah, and by us doing that, he awakes for us. We start prospering in all areas. Every area that we was lacking, we'll start prospering. Go ahead.
God, verse 7. Though thy beginning was small.
Yeah, but you have to begin small. You have to. You gotta be humble. You gotta have a humble mindset. You gotta have the mindset of a child. You gotta be able to be molded. It says, read that from the top, verse 7.
Verse 7, though thy beginning was small,
Read.
yet thy latter end shall greatly increase.
You're going to greatly increase. Long as you have the humility, you respect the Most High, you respect the instruction, you take it in, you'll greatly increase. It's nothing all of a sudden for the Most High to make a poor man rich.
Abiding thy labor.
Abiding thy labor.
Yes, sir. Good class, man. Good.
Also doing.
Good class. Oh, you got any questions? That was good. I like that. Some years. Years in there. All right, man. Well, listen.
We got anything online? I know the sister had a question online about. Let me see. She said. Huh? She said. I'm thinking that we probably answered it. What if I show respect and listen to my husband, but he doesn't respect or listen to me? What is it that he's not listening to? And what is it that he's not respecting? Because the scripture says, soft answer turn away much wrath. Right?
John.
So what is it that you're bringing that he's not wanting to listen to?
How are you bringing it?
And how are you bringing it? I mean, I know you're saying that you're doing things respectful, but is it respectful in your eyes? Are you because sisters will do this. I'm not saying this is you, sis. I'm just giving you the example where sisters will do this. Their husband is talking to them, and they'll just shut up all the way. And in their mind, they're like, are you done? And then as soon as he's done, they just reel off at the mouth. So you want to make sure you're not doing that. You know, you gotta maybe find a different approach to talk to him. And get him maybe, a lot of times, man, our timing is off. When you're trying to talk to him about something that he don't want to deal with at that present time, you might have to catch him on a different timing. But, I mean, if you're coming respectful and listening, I don't see why he wouldn't respect you back. So, it got to be, the proper timing. Are you just when it's your time to talk, just going in all the way without respect? You might listen, but it's one thing to listen, but then it's one thing when it's your turn to talk. It's like your mouth is like. He's like, I ain't trying to hear that. Because it defeats the whole purpose or the whole point of you listening in the first place. So, timing. You might have to talk to him about things on different timing where things are not heated, when it's not all emotional. Timing. Hopefully that helps out. Anything else? Anything in class? All right, well, that was a good class, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Everybody online, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Again, if you want to help out with the Passover, that is on the 1st. We accept the donations through the Wells Fargo account and through Google Wallet. Remember, we got Purim coming up on the 16th, right? If you want to join us, hit us up on Facebook. If you're in the Houston area, we're going to be feasting somewhere. So hit us up. How long is Purim?
2 days.
2 days? 16th to the 17th. Right. So I'm sure for those 2 days we're going to try to get it in somewhere. So if you want to join, hit us up. All right?
Done.
All right. Done. If there's nothing else, we are going to say shalom.
Shalom.